Headphones on.
Let's go.
All right, what's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Guys, before we begin, I want to remind you once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean. Because when you go to a neighborhood and you see a freshly cut lawn, what do you think? That guy manscapes.
For sure.
Yeah. So use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com for 20% off your order. Rob, have you manscaped recently?
Am I in on this ad?
If you want to be.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, I was born without any pubes, so.
Oh, wow.
No.
Yeah.
Alopecia of the dong.
Yeah.
Dong-alopecia.
Yeah. So I'm, I was born with no pubes. And were you guys born with pubes?
Yeah, I had a healthy bush.
When you were born?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of embarrassing.
Right,
but
as a baby.
But the doctor said it's a good sign. He just said it means I might be short.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I was so ahead of the puberty train.
I was born with a landing strip, weirdly.
Oh, really? It came in like a little shape?
It filled out,
Yeah.
Lucky.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are lucky,
don't.
man.
Yeah.
You're blessed. You're really hashtag blessed.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is Rob Huebel that we have here. Huge fan. Thank you so much for doing
yeah,
the
we're
pod.
huge
for
fans.
having me. This is a real this is a real thing.
It's true. Yeah, we are here in 3D. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really great. I just got back from Colorado.
Where were you
skiing?
I was skiing out in Telluride, Colorado.
I saw it on your Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You looked at my Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so nice. I really appreciate it.
I liked it. I liked the videos you were doing. The stuff on the chairlift was good.
Yeah, dude. Fucking content. Oh, are we allowed to swear on this show?
Oh,
course,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's what you're feeling.
So we were just out there skiing, and a friend of ours puts on a little comedy festival out there. So we went out there and did a bunch of like a few nights of comedy. So it was really fun.
Oh, nice.
It's just an excuse to ski and drink beer. And
Were you doing improv? Or
we do, some of that. We do a little bit of improv, a little bit of just like bits, characters and weirdos, and some stand up and sketch and all that stuff. Yeah.
nice.
I'm a pretty deep fan. Before I got into performing at all, I would listen to like Mike Detective and.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's a deep cut.
And I worked at Earwolf, so.
Oh, you did?
I would post episodes of like.
And look at
shows
you now!
did.
You've started this rival corporation.
Yeah, I jumped ship. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Ulrich.
Is that who owns it?
He sold it, but
okay.
I was his assistant for a while.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but I was a terrible assistant.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Were you? What made you a terrible? Like, would he say you were a terrible assistant?
Yeah.
He
would say I was a good guy, but a terrible assistant.
Yeah. It's hard to be both. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to be a good worker and also like a cool person to hang out. I would rather be just a fun person to hang out with.
Well, I tried my hardest, but like it took my biggest effort to just like stay afloat. Like I would give him wrong addresses for like meetings, and he'd be like, "Where am I? I'm in New York City. Like I'm looking at like a Bon Pere bakery or something." I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry." And I'd panic and apologize effusively.
Yeah, it's really stressful to deal with all that sort of. Did he yell at you a lot? And
no, he would just be like, you have to be better, right?
Yeah.
And I was like 100%. But I also realized that as an assistant, it's your job to always be wrong. Like, because your job is to make your boss happy. So if you're telling your boss that they're wrong, you're not doing your job. So you kind of just have to.
You can't say, you fucked up, man. You went to the wrong Obon Pan.
Right.
It's on 23rd Street.
Exactly.
Look at your fucking email.
Yeah, you can't say that.
You can't say that.
You have to be like, oh, dude, you're so right. I'm sorry.
Dude,
and,
I'm so, yeah.
But I messed up enough where I made it easy on him.
Yeah. And then you left and came over here. And are you a bad worker here, or are you a pretty good worker?
I think I'm pretty solid on this front. Yeah. It was a circuitous route. I had some in-between stuff as well. But yeah.
I think you do a good job.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
He inspires me. He's like the hardest working guy ever. So
Is that true?
Yeah.
You don't seem like a very hard worker.
Oh, I don't?
No.
Dude,
But that's
thank you.
what's so
listen,
beguiling.
I've been here like 2 minutes.
I try to give off that aura.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm actually on a juice cleanse right now, just to give you a little taste.
Wait,
he's on his 5th day.
What is that giving me a taste of?
Just how hard I'm working.
Okay. You're working super hard. You started the juice cleanse. How's your cleanse going?
It's good. We did it with our buddy, or I did it with my buddy. Yeah.
So no food at all?
No, you can eat
juice.
food. You can eat food.
Just avocados and apples.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
For how-
Let me say food.
How long?
You said food.
How long does this go?
It's supposed to go 10 days. I'm on day 5, but
Yeah.
like I was with my buddy and we were like, let's do 5 days. Like 10's absurd, but then like there's this chart, you know, it's like it's like day 1, excited. Day 2, resentment. Day 3, anger. Day 4, what the fuck? Day 5, am I in or am I out? Day 6, I feel great. So day 6 is tomorrow. We'll see.
And do you feel like are you doing it to lose weight or just to like cleanse out your system?
No, I feel like I don't really need to lose weight. I just think they just say you feel great after. So
Yeah, but right now you don't feel good.
no, I feel pretty good actually.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm like entering that euphoria stage, which I think is a side effect of starvation.
Yeah, your body is like eating itself.
Yeah. But
That's cool.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to a steak soon.
Yeah, I just had a pretty good steak. I don't really ever eat steak, but I went out with my wife on Friday and we ended up at some steak and I was like, why are we even here? This is so dumb. And I ate a steak and I haven't had a steak in like 2 years and I was like, this is the fuck.
2 years?
Awesome.
Just watching the cholesterol and stuff or for ethical purposes?
I mean, really probably just because like it's not great for you, you know? And so probably more for like cholesterol and stuff. But like I had and I was like, I almost went full on like, oh, I just need to eat meat every day.
Yeah.
I just
it does something to you when like you get the blood in your mouth. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah. You become like a caveman or something.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, oh, I need to. So I thought about murdering people that night. I did have the urge to like murder and like, you know, consume human flesh, but I didn't.
It's not a bad impulse if you can corral it and channel that energy elsewhere.
It is. Yeah. It is hard. Very hard.
Like onto the court.
It's hard to corral.
Yeah, those are.
I take it onto the basketball court. What court? Are you talking?
Yeah, or racquetball.
I take it out to the racquetball court. All my cannibalistic instincts.
Yeah,
Those are steak intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm glad your juice cleanse went well.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan too. Actually, we were talking when we.
Is this part of the show
scheduled
that we just talk about
No.
what big fans we are of each other?
No, I just
because I don't know what.
we do that when we have people on that we're big fans of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I don't think we faked it. So.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to tell you, because
Now I got to
Are
go
you
back and listen
skeptical?
to. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical.
No, I used to watch the Facebook show.
Oh wow.
UCB. When I first
Yeah,
came
yeah.
here, I was hitting UCB hard, and
Yeah,
then
that's a fun show.
yeah.
It's an improv show that we do. I'm telling your listeners what
You're
it is.
still doing it, right?
Yeah. So now we don't. We just kind of changed it because we hate Facebook, like just that format.
I hear you.
And the company is so lame. So we might call it like fuck Facebook or delete Facebook, and like
Nice.
so the people might come up and we might look at their Facebook page and then improvise off of their and then have them delete their account.
Right.
So it's kind of hard.
That'll be fun.
Have you ever
Yeah.
considered switching to a different social media platform?
Well, it came that for that improv show.
Yeah.
It came out of. It's been around. We've been doing the show for a while. It used to be MySpace. No joke.
Oh, right.
Way,
Yeah.
Way back, it was MySpace, and then it became. But like, I don't know. It's more just like at this point we more just like improvising and hanging out with each other. It's like me and like Paul Scheer and Rob Riggle and some other guys, and like it's more just like we've known each other forever. So I don't really care about like what the format is. It's more just like an excuse to, you know, go out and do comedy with your friends once a week. You know.
Right.
Did you guys all come up together at UCB New York?
Yeah, we all came out of New York way back. Like we were just sort of. I was telling this story to somebody else. Like it's really embarrassing because improv is so white. Like it's just so. It's too many white. Dudes.
Yeah, it's changing now though. If you go to
Yeah,
like UCB now, it's
Is it?
yeah, and everyone's like
Good.
beautiful now too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
It sticks out now.
it is funny. Like so I came up like at the kind of. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, like at the very beginning. But I was listing people that I came up with, and it was like Rob Corddry, Ed Helms, Rob Riggle, Paul Scheer. It was all white guys.
Yeah.
And then I got done with this
But
list.
the cream of the crop for whiteys.
really the best white people.
Yeah.
But yeah, all really funny people, but not diverse at all. So I'm glad to hear that it's changing. And it is also weird now because like I started it, you know, I was just in the right place at the right time. Like before it was so huge and this big machine, you know, of like a comedy.
It's like the
juggernaut.
corporate.
It's like really,
yeah.
really big now. But like,
that's why I heard clowning at like Lyric Hyperion's the new thing.
oh really?
Yeah.
There's
like
a clown show.
That's like
Dr.
the
Brown.
insurgent comedy.
I used to
now.
live right above the that theater on Hyperion. Like our house was like right up the street from that. But I didn't see a lot of clowns there, so it's good to know that there's a clowning movement. But yeah, like I wouldn't have the courage, I don't think, to get involved in something right at this point. Like if I was like 20, I think I started when I was like 25. Like I think I would just be too intimidated. Like, oh man, what? No, I gotta audition to get on stage. Like when I was doing it, it was just fucking whoever wanted to could just like, come on in.
Yeah.
You want to take a class? You want to get on stage? You can get on stage whenever you want, you know?
Yeah, I've heard stories. I've never been to the UCB in New York. Actually, I did this show at the newer one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard stories about how it was just this basement. And it was just like a crew, like Amy Poehler, and all those guys, just like a crew of people, and just like this sort of shitty basement, but
it was
sounded
super
like
shitty.
the most fun.
Yeah, it was super
in the
shitty.
world.
It was like very like lo-fi, sort of like punk rock. It felt like very punk rock.
Yeah, very
you know?
punk rock. Yeah.
And then it just became so popular that it is now sort of the opposite of that. But I think it's still good. You know, I think it's just like a different thing now. You know.
Well, yeah, and like Del Close, the guy who like, I mean, kind of created modern improv or
Yeah,
whatever
he
you
was
want
sort
to
of
frame
like
it.
their.
Wasn't he like a heroin addict and kind of like a
think so.
artsy like beatnik type?
I think so. Yeah, I think he was like all in the '60s and stuff, and like, but yeah, I think it was yeah, definitely a different scene. But it's funny because like you talk about how widespread UCB is. I was getting my hair cut the other day. No big deal. I can afford a haircut. And
Congrats.
yeah, thanks, man. And the guy was like, "Oh man, I think I've seen you before at UCB." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And he was like, "Yeah, I do UCB too." And I was like, "Okay, so now the guy cutting my hair that I've just met." Also, like it's just so widespread.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Los Angeles too.
Yeah,
I did Alexander technique for acting for a little bit, and the guy before me was a chef.
Yeah.
He was like, it helps me move around the kitchen.
Yeah. What is the Alexander technique? I don't know that.
Well, your instructor's always awesome. They're always really cool and like super spiritual in like the best way possible. And they kind of just help you put your body where it's naturally supposed to go. Like your head's like a bowling ball and it wants to float up into the air. And they just pick your head up a little bit and you just kind of relax. But the first time I saw it done in class, the teacher took a girl who was kind of stiff and hadn't been doing well in the acting class, and she grabbed her shoulders, and the girl was like kind of fighting against her. She goes, like, "Give me your shoulders." And she moved her shoulders, and the girl broke down crying, but she looked amazing. Like when she moved her shoulders, I was like, oh my God, she could be a star. But like the Alexander technique lady had to like arrange her into where her body was supposed to be.
Wow. It seems like there would be a lot of potential for harassing people and like brainwashing people.
But that's why you got to have the right instructor. Like our guys, like
because like I'm thinking about, could I be an instructor? Like, could I get involved in that and like kind of like, you know, control my students and like make them like worship me and stuff?
I think that's all acting classes though. They take your soul and then they feed it back to you in like little bits. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they do table work where you just lay down flat on a table and he basically just flattens your back and then stretches you out. And then
this is just a massage, I think.
It's pretty much a massage.
Yeah.
Very gentle.
With spirituality laid on top. And then like, this is going to translate into your acting. And you're like,
in what way does it translate into your
Well,
acting?
he's like, you're going to be more in your body. You're going to be more present. And that's... but, you know, I'll do stand-up and I'm like, I feel more in my body.
Yeah.
I feel it too.
Yeah.
He's supposed to create space between stimuli and your reaction to. And I remember one time I was looking down at my notes and then I just looked up real quick and gave the audience a wry smile and they all laughed and I was like, that was Alexander technique.
Can you give me a wry smile right now?
I'll try and do it the way I did it. All
look
right,
up.
hold on. My notes.
Wait, was that it?
Rob, come on, dude.
I couldn't tell.
That was the
it.
punchline.
That was it. I gave it to you. That was 100%.
I thought that was your genuine, like authentic,
Just regular smile. Yeah, I might have overdone it because I was.
Let me see
All
the
right.
difference. So this is the wait. Is it what's coming at me? Is this going to be real or wry?
Well, we'll see, but I'm going for Rye.
Take more time with the notes and then pull it up.
Okay, hold on.
Man, that is very powerful.
Well, I haven't done the classes in a while too.
No,
so
I
it's
think
not as sharp as
I think what you did was
it.
perfect. I think what you did was perfect.
Do you have a Rye smile in you?
I don't.
I thought you were gonna have one instead.
No.
Come on.
I don't.
I feel you. Transitioning.
That sort of acting stuff though is interesting because like I did this show on Amazon called Transparent. And,
that's what I was just about to talk about. It's my favorite show.
Oh, cool. Oh, they would do a thing in preparation for shooting where we would like get together with the cast at this woman's. They had sort of a similar thing where they had like this woman that taught these classes. She was like an acting coach, but they would bring her on to do like a special workshop just for like the cast of Transparent. And she was really like kind of a difficult person, I think, but really good. She was really good at what she did, but you would not feel good about yourself during the class. Like there was a lot of and
this was with the whole cast.
Yeah, so it would be like there's a lot of like movement, like it was almost like dance. It was almost like a dance workshop is the way I would explain it. Like we would be like moving around the room, and I felt very self-conscious doing it just at first because like coming from like a comedy background, I was just like, what
the sincerity of it.
Yeah, it just felt like what is this really going to help us with as far as like real acting stuff or whatever. But then I feel like if everyone kind of buys into it and everyone kind of gets behind it, then that experience becomes useful.
Right. The fact that you guys are all in it together.
Yeah, the fact that we're all being brainwashed together.
And was like Tambor doing it in Duplass and like Landecker and all those people?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're on a last name basis with almost the entire cast.
I think I could keep going. Hoffman.
So they were all there and like, but everyone I think would be like, oh no, we got to do this again this year. Cause it would be like a couple days or something. And, but then it was almost like a grueling process where you would kind of do various exercises and some people would get yelled at and other people would not. And it was like, I don't even know what is expected of me, you know? But then kind of just going through this gauntlet over the weekend, like by Monday, you'd be like, all right, I feel more bonded to you guys, you know? So that was useful.
Yeah, you guys have like a communal experience.
Yeah.
So I think that was some crazy shit we did.
And I think that was kind of the larger point.
And the acting across the board on that show is so good.
Well, they had, I agree, not me necessarily, but the rest of the cast and just like, I feel like the people that they had come in to direct that show, it was mostly women, I feel like, came in to direct. And they were all like, just had very specific directing styles, but it was all very much like to help you do like the most grounded non-actory just like non-actory
it's so
stuff
real.
Like you would almost be like just talking in the scene and like they would always kind of like throw away the script. They'd be like, okay, so this scene is, don't worry about this. They'd be like, this is a dinner party and in the middle of we're gonna be having a great time and everybody's gonna be making jokes and in the middle of it something terrible, someone's gonna make like a terrible announcement or whatever. You'd be like, okay. So you kind of knew the shape of the scene, but it felt more like you're in a play, and you're doing like long takes and like, so it was all this stuff like that really helped it feel like you're actually experiencing, something real. So that I think helps the aspect.
There was one scene in particular where you have to, after Amy Landecker's your wife and she leaves you, and then she kind of like doesn't get fulfilled in her new relationship, and then you have to be like sexually like dominant, like you're like sit there on the bed.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, is that like I'm very self-conscious when I have to play like sexy in a scene.
I hate it.
Yeah, and I feel very vulnerable.
But you did that wry smile like so easily.
I felt the sexiness.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that came like that was like it came out of nowhere. We were just sitting over here like
you can do the look up any day. I mean. Oh fuck!
Jeez,
do you see that?
Fuck, man. We're video recording this, right?
Yeah, I think the audience saw it.
Jeez.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's really good. No, it's great. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that at all. Like,
but you were really good in that scene.
Oh, thanks. But that is the thing that makes me feel so uncomfortable. And like, you know, anytime you have to be sincerely attractive or like, you know, seductive, that's like not in my wheelhouse.
Especially if you're from comedy, I feel, because like it's comedy so much is like lampooning that kind of persona.
Yeah, it's sort of like, running away from anything that's like sincere or real. And so, sometimes that sort of stuff, you do feel like, oh man, this is going to look terrible, you know? Mm-hmm. And I mean, you know, I just know in like my real life with my wife, like you end up joking around about stuff like that rather than like really trying to like dress up and look good for your partner. You end up like making yourself look terrible on purpose to make it funny or whatever. But I mean, that's why I'm so out of shape, because it's hilarious. But I think on that show, at some point I was just like, well, this is not that type of comedy show, you know, like
it's a show about discomfort in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And it's a show about being super hyper like realistic and stuff. So whatever it is, like I'm just gonna try to roll with that. And you know, did you watch it back?
I did. Yeah. How'd you feel about it?
I don't even remember that exact scene that you're talking about, but I know that I had a lot of like sex scenes on that show. I mean, it's really uncomfortable, you know, especially watching with my wife, like, because my wife loved the show. So whenever it would come out, like we would like watch it, you know, like sit down and like watch it one weekend. I'd be like, oh, I forgot about this. This is a whole, I have a 3-way with that person and that person. I forgot about that. Yep. Oh, I forgot.
You get the script, you're just like,
here's the part where I go down on this person while I'm fucking that person. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But at least everyone in the cast is doing stuff like that.
Did you have to apologize? You're like, I'm sorry.
To my wife, yeah. I mean, she gets it. She knows what the deal is.
You've appeared. Do you want to?
No, go.
You've appeared in pretty much all the big comedy shows on TV since like the mid 2000s.
Man, thank you for saying that.
Do you have a favorite one that you worked on?
There's a lot of really good TV shows. The other thing that's weird is like, I did some shows like a long time ago, and then we were talking about Netflix before we started this, but like now there are shows that are on Netflix that I did like 10 years ago. Like I think I did maybe 3 or 4 episodes of The Office, like way back. And now that show has this whole other shelf life on Netflix, you know, and like I think sometimes when people turn on Netflix, they feel overwhelmed by choices and stuff. So they like see The Office and they're like, oh, that's something I'm familiar with. That's comforting. Yeah. So I think Netflix has done really well, and it's smartly so, to like get a certain amount of that stuff, so people can just like. So, but for me now, like I'll be going through the TSA line at the airport, and like the TSA guy's like, "Oh shit, man, you were on The Office." You know? They all talk like that too. They all say, "Oh shit, oh shit." So it's weird to be like recognized for something I did like a long time ago.
What season of The Office were you on?
I don't even know. Like I think like season 6.
So was it already kind of like a phenomenon?
Oh yeah. It was already like, but it was on NBC and it was already its own thing. But it has like, if you talk to like teenagers right now, they're really into like Friends and The Office, which is really crazy, but it's just because of Netflix.
Well, The Office feels like more edgy now too. Like at the time it didn't really feel edgy actually. Yeah. And now it feels like you're like, oh, I don't know if you could totally get away with this anymore. It's like right on the cusp.
Yeah. I think that's almost like just lucky, you know, that it's because I think when they wrote it, you could say some of those things, and now like people are the pendulum is swung back the other way, where it's like, oh, that's not cool. Like you can't make that joke at all, you know?
Yeah.
So it feels like
it's a good microcosm of like the time that it was made.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's still really, really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that answered your question, but you know, that was fun to do that show. Yeah. But I feel like every show that I've done is like, it's all like, you know how it is, like doing comedy is like super fun. And like,
of course, it's
fun to show up, and the show is already like, if the show already has a life of its own, it's really fun to sort of like pop up into that world and be like, oh cool, I can run around in this whatever, Parks and Rec or The League, or, you know.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of wondering about, because you know, you go into all these shows and they're all their own sort of separate sort of comedy machines.
Yeah.
And it must be cool to get a peek inside.
Yeah, it's pretty
one.
It's pretty fun, and like it's also fun because like it's not my my responsibility at all. You know what I mean? Like sometimes if you show up and you're like, oh wait, there's a weird vibe. Like people are fighting, or
right.
It's like, well, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so this is for you guys to
it's just
out.
a fun experience for you.
Yeah. But usually, like I feel like the comedy world is, I'm sure you guys know, it's like kind of a small little mafia, and like people kind of know, everyone kind of knows everybody to some degree. Mm-hmm. So like usually I feel like when I do stuff now, I usually know most of the people, you know, like when we did the league, like I'm friends with all those guys on the league, so that was always just like super fun,
Cool.
Who is someone, I guess, Noel, this is kind of, I don't want you to like insult anyone.
Oh, I'm happy to. Who's the biggest asshole?
No, not that.
Paul Scheer, man. Paul Scheer. No, Cordry. Rob Cordry.
I could have called that.
Oh yeah, man. But, and those guys are interchangeable. When you look at a picture of Cordry and a picture of Paul Scheer, it's hard to tell them apart. Both fucking terrible assholes.
Who is the person who, like, when you started, you were like, oh, I don't think that person's got it, and then they discovered it, or they kind of. I remember stand-up saying that about Hannibal Buress a lot, that he was like terrible when he started.
Oh, really? And then he blew up.
And then he blew up, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, he figured it out."
Yeah, there's no way I can answer that question.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I mean it's a good question, but like, I'm trying to think of someone that I don't know that I'm aware of a person like that I didn't think was good, and then they got like super famous. But I've definitely seen people do like something that that I don't do well, which is like the person that is kind of like a bit of like a kiss ass and like knows how to like network really. Like I'm not great at that. Like I'm not great at getting everyone, I'm going to get everyone on set to give me their emails, and then I'm going to email these people 1,000,000 times so they can like be my friend, and then I'm going to hang out with them, and then hopefully I can get back on the show and blah, blah, blah. Like,
right.
I know of a couple
operators.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, like climbers. You know, like
some
that.
people it's organic for them. I have a friend who's like the best networker, but he's the best networker because when he's networking, it doesn't feel cynical. Like you actually believe that you're like, oh, this is just who you are.
Yeah.
But some people, it's like,
I think
gross.
that's probably my fault then, because like the person I'm thinking of is probably just like that. They're probably just like
no, but
that.
I mean, there's people who suck.
Well, there's some people who they send postcards to like every casting agent. Casting director. I'm sorry.
Probably smart. It's probably smart. I just don't. Dude, I'm so bad at it that I'm. There are no casting people that listen to this podcast, right?
I doubt it.
Yeah,
but I'm really bad with people's names, and so not because I choose to be, but I just am, and so like. Sometimes I'll go into an audition. I'm like, oh, here's the most famous casting person in the world. I should know her name, and I can't come up with it. And they're like, hi, Rob. And I'm like, hi, dude. Yeah, hi, bro. I'm like, bro.
What's up?
Yeah. My name's Barbara. But, so I wonder sometimes, like, ooh, I hope I didn't step on any toes doing that. But, some people are really good at that sort of stuff. And just, like, networking in general. And, like, it's just sort of who they are. And I feel like I'm not really good at that. So I kind of resent it when I see someone that is.
Yeah, I never... I tend to be pretty antisocial, like towards the end of the night. So
is this because of the juice cleanse, or
probably?
Yeah,
we'll see. Actually, that's why I did the juice cleanse to be more social.
More social.
Yeah, they say I could unlock the. If you get into ketosis, you'll figure it out. They're you don't really realize it, but coming into comedy, there's this whole. They're like, you got to stay at the comedy clubs till 2 a.m.
and just chit chat.
Just let people know you're there, and then it's. I feel like you can go.
I think you can get lost
routes.
doing that stuff, though.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a great investment of your time. I mean, like
I
always feel like if your shit is funny, then people will acknowledge that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like no matter what it is, if it's stand up, if it's like a sketch, if it's something that you wrote, if it's like a screenplay, like people are always like, how do I get into this? How do I get into it? And I'm like, just start doing stuff. Like start shooting stuff with your friends or writing stuff, and just keep writing and writing and writing, because like eventually it will get good, and then it's undeniable. Like once you have stuff that's undeniable, like this is like these are jokes that I wrote that are definitely funny. Like I know that this is funny. Like it's just undeniable. Like I think that's the most valuable thing, as opposed to just like. That's why I get pissed about like when you see someone that's like, you know, better at networking and stuff, and that's helping them. Like I'm like, fuck, person's not even that good. They're just good at kissing ass.
Right. Yeah.
That's me doing an impression of me right there.
It does make you angry though. Like when someone who you're like, there's like a million people who are better at this thing than this person.
Yeah.
And they're the one. But yeah. What I want to talk to you about The Descendants. Yeah. When I listened to your episode of Who Charted. Okay. So I had to listen to that and write the description for it before it got published on iTunes. It was a good episode. Okay. But you talked about getting George Clooney's phone number.
Yeah. Well, I tried to get his phone number. I think I chickened out, but yeah, I mean that was a movie, this Alexander Payne movie that they shot in Hawaii, and I was lucky to be like have kind of a smaller part in that. I was like George Clooney's best friend in it. So for a long time I would joke that like we were best friends in real life, and people be like, but are you guys friends? And I was like, no, I don't fucking know him, but I would like to be best friends, you know. But yeah, there was just like one day on set where, you know, in between when you're shooting, you're just kind of sitting around. We're sitting around, everybody's looking at their phones. He's looking at his phone, and I was like sitting right next to him, and I was just like working up the courage to be like, hey bro, like what is your phone number that you have? Is it like a 323? Is it 310? Right. And I think I was just about to ask him, like, because I just figured like, fuck it, man. What's he gonna do? Like, not give me his phone number? Right. Like, I'm not gonna text him all the time. I'll text him like, you know.
It's just about having it.
It's just about telling people that I have his phone number. Yeah. But yeah, I chickened out, or he got called like back to set, and I was like, George. Man, we could have been friends.
I love your delivery, like in the scene where he's yelling at your wife, like, you're putting makeup on a corpse.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, harsh.
Yeah, that movie is like really good. I haven't watched that movie in a while, but I went back about a year ago. I think I watched it, and it's like super sad. It's like so sad.
Good themes.
It's really good, and like he's great in it, man. Clooney's so good in it. I mean, it's crazy, man. He's like a fucking great actor. He really is like really good.
What do you think? What is it in a scene that when you're working with him, you're like, oh, this is like good acting?
Well, I was just really intimidated because, like, you know, Alexander Payne directed that movie.
He's amazing.
He's just, like one of my favorite directors.
Yeah.
And
Sideways.
Yeah, when I went into audition for that movie, I think I originally went in for a different part, the part that Matthew Lillard did, like the guy.
Oh, nice. You would have been cucking George.
That's right. But so I didn't get that part. But then when I was there, they were like, "Hey, why don't you read for this other part?" And it was like his best friend or whatever. But I would have done anything. Like I would have made fucking craft service sandwiches for that cast. But yeah, so I got out there to Hawaii, and like, you know, you show up on set and you're like, oh fuck, there's Alexander Payne. That's amazing. This guy is so fucking cool. Oh my God, here comes Clooney. What? We're gonna rehearse this scene? Okay, okay. Because, you know, I always think of myself as like, I'm just like a comedy person, you know, and then like to be in like a movie like that is like funny, but it's also like pretty dramatic. Like you're laughing at like stuff that's funny because it's super relatable and it's like very personal stuff, you know, as opposed to like characters making crazy jokes. Yeah, so I just felt like really out of my league, you know, and I remember just like looking around the room being like, oh my God, like I hope I don't get recast. Like that's my fears. Like they're going to realize like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. They're going to call my agent and I'm going to get recast and flown home.
So how do you emotionally like get past that?
I mean, I'm very good at, and I'm sure you guys are too. Do you both do stand up? Yeah. So I feel like in comedy in general, or maybe just in this entertainment business, all of it, you kind of do just like fake it. Like I'm gonna trick myself to think that I'm okay enough to get by at this, you know. Right. So it really is just like that sort of thing of like lying to yourself, like, oh, I'll just fake it, and then I'll just pretend like I know what I'm doing, and hopefully that'll look good, you know. Like,
but you've been faking it with so much success for like a long time.
But I think that's all it is. It really is just like you just keep faking it until like you do figure out like, oh wait, well maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that kind of helps me get over like nervousness that I have. But like, as far as like going on stage and stuff, like, you know, I love like performing live, I think more than anything else. 'Cause you know, there is like that instant, gratification from, you know, and you know, like right away, like how you're doing, like you can tell like, oh, this is going well. They like me.
And you can modulate it based off what you're hearing.
Yeah. But if you're shooting something and you have no idea, you know, it's just like the camera guy isn't going to tell me that he thinks this is good, you know? So I think it's really, I get more, I have more fun doing live stuff more than anything else. But I used to get so nervous. Like for years, I would get like really, really nervous. Mm-hmm. And kind of the same thing, like where I would get like extreme butterflies in my stomach where I just felt like, oh, I'm going to shit my pants or something. Like I just have diarrhea. But eventually I just kind of like tried to trick myself of like, okay, every time I feel that, instead of thinking that that's like a negative thing, I'm just going to trick myself into like, that's like a positive thing. Like I'm excited. Mm-hmm. Instead of like, I'm nervous. What if I fuck up? Like, oh, I'm just going to think of that feeling as like a positive feeling. Like, oh, I get to go on stage. I get to perform.
It's excitement.
Yeah, it's excitement. So yeah. So that kind of helped me get over that. But.
Yeah, I always felt that way about comedy. And also what you're saying with acting too. It's like all the lead up until those moments can often be just misery.
Yeah.
But then once you step onto the stage, you're like, all right, I got to do it. Yeah. And then it just kind of, for me, I found it just kind of washes away. You just got to step out.
Yeah.
And just start doing it, and then you find it.
Yeah, I think it's like anything. I think it's like if you think about something too much, it becomes huge in your brain, and you're like, oh man, I can't go do that tonight. Is that tonight? Fuck, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then once you do it, you're like, oh, this is totally fun. Like, why was I scared of this? You know? I mean, even if it's not going well, at least you went there, and like, you know, there's something to be gained, even like when it doesn't go well. You know, you probably get even more out of it. It's not fun, but it's like you learn more, you know.
I've learned to enjoy bombing. I kind of, unless my friends are there, it's like,
I don't fucking care. Like I've done a million like improv shows and a million sketch shows where it's like, oh, they're not having this.
It's almost like it's even more funny for you.
Yeah,
because like, this is hilarious. They hate us.
Yeah, they hate us. And they had to drive here and they had to park. Oh my God. They had to go get dinner and now they're hating this. Like, this is awesome. You know? So I don't know. I try to just look at it differently. And like, I think you just have to, when you're performing live, I think you just have to enjoy that aspect of it too. Like sometimes it's not going to go well.
When you did a Human Giant, so were you guys like show running that too, or you guys were writers on it, right?
Yeah, we wrote on it, and so I guess we were all executive producers on it, and then our buddy Jason Wallner directed.
Oh, of course,
them all. Yeah,
Eagleheart and does all Brett Gelman stuff. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's awesome. So and also like a super funny writer. So we all wrote it together, and then we had friends come in and write for like brief periods of time, like. We couldn't afford like a writer's room. I don't even know if you can do this. Like, I don't know how we got to do this, but like we would pay people as consultants to come in and like just pitch us sketches, you know? And so we were in New York at the beginning. And so we got just like comedy idols of ours, like Patton Oswalt or like Brian Posehn or like John Glazer, you know, to come in and just be like, here's 5 ideas that I had. These are really dumb ideas, but you guys might love them, you know, and we'd be like laughing our heads off, you know, and so we'd write up a card and put those on. So we would do that periodically, like bring in people that we liked, other stand-ups or whatever, and have them throw out just loose ideas for sketches, you know. But to answer your question, we were not show running it. We had a guy that we knew who was on SNL, who was like a guy that was older than us, who'd been on a lot of different shows, who was really helpful to us to kind of like plow through like the layers of, you know, approval of sketches and scripts and stuff like that, you know.
Just the production aspects of it.
Yeah. Like this guy had just been around for a long time and like was, you know, older than us and more experienced, and like so just kind of handled a lot of the stuff that we didn't know how to do, you know. So it was really helpful to us and like really useful to like, hey man, like we were going to shoot this on Friday at the swimming pool, but we lost the swimming pool. What do we do? And, that person just like handles all of like the emergencies but it was also a funny writer too.
It felt very joyful, that show. Like I was just watching parts of it today, and I was like, oh, you can feel like, especially like the 24-hour thing that you guys do.
Yeah.
Like it all feels so joyous. And did it feel that joyous when you were making it?
Yeah. When you're doing something, like you never know how special it is until later. You know what I mean? Like now when I look back on stuff, people say, I think you were asking me earlier, like what was one of my favorite jobs? Like that was one of my favorite jobs because it was one of the first things that I got to do that was like us. Like this is like us. Our faces were on it. So for people that don't know, this is a sketch show called Human Giant on MTV that we did like 10, 12 years ago, I think, like
with
2007.
Paul Scheer and
Aziz, me, Paul Scheer, and Aziz Ansari. And but yeah, we were just really lucky, like it was this weird time at MTV where they were doing mostly like they'd put all their chips on like reality shows. So they were doing like The Hills and like all this stuff.
I remember that.
And we just got lucky that the guy that was running the channel was a big comedy nerd and was like, yeah, man, I'm going to do this show is almost just like a fuck you to the network. Like it really was just like, I don't even know that people will like the show that watch this channel, but I like it and I like you guys. And so the only caveat was that we had to go in every week and pitch him our sketches. And it was almost just like a fun, because he wanted to have some sort of fun meeting for him during the week.
Right.
Because he was dealing with all this craziness at MTV and all these reality weirdos. And then he would have us come in and be like, here's some really funny sketches. And we would read the sketches to him. And he would just like laugh his ass off and be like, great, go do it. So we got to go and do this show that someone else was paying for. And, it was, when we were lucky, we got to do like 2 seasons and they never really told us ratings or anything like that. It was just like, yeah, just do your thing,
How'd you like the writing process?
We wrote, it was pretty grueling, when it is your own show, like it is like so many hours because you suddenly become very invested in it emotionally. You're like, oh shit, this is my show,
Yeah.
So I remember it being like long hours. And our friend that was the showrunner, who was kind of older than us and wiser than us, he came from SNL, so that world was like late hours. Like they would write, at SNL they kind of famously have that weird schedule where they don't even start till like late afternoon and then they write like all night long and stuff. I don't know why they do it that way, but so a lot of times we'd be there till like late at night. We'd be like, what are we doing? Like, why do we have to do, but it was almost like this guy wanted us to go through that gauntlet or that grueling process, of writing. But it's hard to complain about it now because like I am proud of the show and like, we did get funny stuff. And the one thing that I learned early on, especially from that show, and this was really mostly Jason, our director, Jason was like a really good editor also. Like, when you're shooting with a camera person, it's awesome if they're also an editor because then in their brain, they already know like, oh, I'm never going to use that angle, so it's very efficient. They're like,
right. They're shooting the scene as it's going to happen.
They're shooting it as it's in the like storyboard format that they can see. So that's really helpful. But I just kind of learned early on that we would shoot a ton of alts, just like so many different backup jokes and backup endings and stuff like that. So that when we were editing, if we would get to the end of the sketch and we didn't have an ending, because sometimes, you look at a sketch and you're like, oh man, there's some really funny stuff, but it doesn't land, like it doesn't work at the end. We were lucky that we would always have like a few different endings to it, So we'd be like, oh, let's just do that one weird thing where we all kill each other, Okay, cool. So we ended up killing each other in like a lot of sketches.
Yeah, the deaths are good though. Yeah.
And you have a new show out on Netflix, Medical Police.
Yeah.
Just came out January 9th, 10th?
Something like that. Yeah. And that's basically the spin-off of Children's Hospital. So we kind of took that world. We did 7 seasons of Children's Hospital on Adult Swim. And so we basically just took that sort of tone and that world and kind of expanded it for Netflix. But it's basically that tone of like really absurd, dumb people, what I mean? Like we're doctors, but we're like the dumbest doctors, and we say like really dumb things, but with like a really straight face.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But so a lot of people that, you know, when you turn on the show, there are a lot of people, now it's on Netflix, so that's not necessarily a comedy. Not everyone that watches Netflix knows what the show is. You know,
right.
sometimes
Like if you watch Adult Swim, you have a very specific comedy sensibility.
Exactly. You've like self-selected to watch like a fucked up like stoner show on Adult Swim, you know, which God bless you, you know. But like on Netflix, it's everybody. It's
for all.
Everybody, and it's like their parents and whatever. So it has been really funny on Twitter to see a certain percentage of people like really confused by it. You know, they're like, what is this? Is this a documentary about the coronavirus?
Right. Well, it's funny because the first episode deals with like a virus, and I was like, oh, that accidental like topicality.
Yeah. Well, it's totally accidental. You know, they wrote the show like
of course. Yeah.
But so many people, because that ends up being the main sort of backstory of the whole thing.
Thrust,
is us trying to solve the mystery of this virus.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are like, did you guys cause the virus? Did you unleash the virus to promote the show?
And you're like, oh no, happy accident. I mean, no, not happy. Yeah, right.
But so but it is really funny to read people's comments on Twitter and stuff where they're like confused by the show, where they don't know. They're like, these doctors are so dumb. Like, they're never going to solve this virus. They're too dumb.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right.
Does that crack you up, or do you want to respond? Like...
No, totally. We started doing a thing where, I mean, to be clear, 95% of the feedback that we get is all very positive, and thank God. It's like, you know, people blowing us up and being like, oh my God, like, I love Children's Hospital. You know, I'm so psyched about this. But what I started doing was posting and retweeting the confused people and like creating like Instagram stories of those comments, because I just thought it was really funny. You know,
it's hilarious.
People that are like, I put on this show for my dad, and my dad did not get it at all. So my dad is now yelling at me. Be like, all right, well, sorry, man.
Yeah, I loved it. It's also kind of I love how it can be kind of self-aware at times and a little meta.
For sure, yeah. There's a joke in there where at the beginning of one of the episodes, they say like that. I forgot who it is, but like that one of the main guys. It's not one of us. It's like the guys from the Center for Disease Control. He says something like, "Okay, let's release a statement about this. Let's get it out to all the major networks, which now I guess includes Netflix." You know? So he gets in like a little dig at Netflix.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that, like just like making fun of ourselves and making fun of comedy shows and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And it's also got like a fun thrill ride. I mean, it keeps you going through the end of the
Yeah, I mean,
series.
I think that's when they. I didn't write on this show, but when they wrote the show, they they figured out like, oh, this has to work in and of itself as a thriller show. Like it has to have
those beats.
Yeah, it has to have all of like that architecture of a real like Outbreak movie, a real like thriller series. Where
Billy, are you dumb or something? That's a quote from Outbreak.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've never seen Outbreak.
Oh, you haven't?
No, is it good?
It's like Donald Sutherland. That line is just like, my brother will crack up. He'll be the only one who gets it. Listen to this. But no, it's not good. But it's an easy watch.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think it's not really a parody of that genre, but it does like nod to that genre a lot. And so I think that they kind of stole from that sort of structure, you know?
Yeah.
And like in every episode does have to have like a certain amount of like stunts and like action, and then end on a cliffhanger. You know?
Your stunts are good. Like the stunts are really good on the show.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like we got to do, like, I'm trying to remember how much of it I did. Like, I used to really love to do as much of that as I could, but now I have a 3-year-old, and I'm like, I'm not gonna break my fucking collarbone for this joke, you know?
Right.
But
no, I PA'd on a show with a comedian that I won't name, and he was supposed to drop like a foot onto a mat, and he was like, I'm not doing it. And he was like, I forget what the name is for the kind of shot where you can fake it.
Yeah.
But he was like, just cube it. I'm not doing it. I was like, all right, yeah, good.
I love doing it like as much as possible, like especially like the fighting. Like I like doing all the fighting and stuff like that. But yeah, there's some stuff where like we couldn't do. Like there's a skydiving thing in episode 1. In the cold open of the series is there's a dead guy that has been thrown out of a plane, but he has the only parachute. So me and the other doctor that I'm with, Aaron Hayes, we have to skydive out of the plane without parachutes and go down and like grab this guy, hang on to him and open his parachute and then hang on to his dead body. So obviously, you know, we hired professional skydivers to do that. I'm sorry if that disappoints you guys.
Dude, I
love professional
for a Tom Cruise
skydivers.
thing.
I like to see them getting hired, getting work.
Did you get trained with guns?
They didn't really train us. They have like a firearms expert on set that you can ask, like, hey man, is this like the right way to do it? Like, I don't want to look like an idiot. And so I just kind of got to know that guy pretty well. Cool. And so they kind of show you like, like when you come around a corner, like, don't do it like that. Everyone's gonna laugh at you. Like, do it like this, you know?
I remember like certain actors in certain movies, like the one guy held the gun up like this, like super close to his face. I was like, why is he doing that?
Sometimes there's dumb stuff where like the camera guy is like, I can't, if you have it down that low, I'm shooting your face.
Right.
So you have to bring it up close to your face. Right. And you're like, well, that's going to look so stupid, man. Like, don't shoot me that close. Like, back up, because I'm going to look like a child, like carrying this gun by my face. You know? But so there's, you know, there is some weird camera blocking and stuff like that. But yeah, I think all that stuff is like super fun. And like there was something that I had never seen before, which I'm sure people that are in production know about this. But this is the job you want on a TV show, and it's the paintball guy. Oh. So we had to shoot
about paintballing a lot.
Oh, you do? So
we love it. Yeah.
We had to shoot a gun shootout in a warehouse where, you know, and when you're doing it, you're either just like faking it, you know, just like doing this and like acting like there's some recoil on the pistol, or sometimes depending on like the prop gun that you're using, there is a tiny little spark that comes out, but none of it provides like a real kickback like a real gun. So you kind of have to pretend that. And but so sometimes you're shooting it and there's like you see like a little spark. But so what the paintball guy does, like in this warehouse, there's a guy just hidden up on a shelf, and he's shooting paintballs that are filled with dust at like where you're shooting. So it looks like,
really?
So it's like, so when you're watching a show and there's gun rounds going off like all around you, those are paintballs of like dust.
Oh wow!
Being
and
shot.
He's whizzing them past your head.
Yep, whizzing them past your head.
Like, he's got that kind of aim.
He's awesome. Like, or whoever the guy was we had, he was like awesome.
Did you ever meet him, or did he stay in the rafters?
No, I met him and I was like, I just want that job.
Yeah.
Like, I just want that job where I'm just sitting there shooting paintballs, like vaguely in your direction, but not hitting you, you know?
He's probably so good at it too that he's like on his cell phone while he does it.
For sure, yeah. But like, you know, then like in one scene, like a van came crashed into the wall, then he has to like light up the van and like shoot the van with all these paintballs and stuff. But it's all dust, so it just looks like pew, 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 you know? So
of all the departments on a production besides like cast, who's your favorite one to talk to?
To talk to, that's a good one. I always like the dog trainer people, or like the animal trainers.
Yeah,
because they're all like fucking crazy. Like they're all weird. Like way back. Sorry, I'm burping. On Children's Hospital, we did a scene with me and Nick Offerman did this scene with this baboon, and they dressed the baboon up like a doctor. So it's a little baboon, and it was a female, and they put her in a doctor's lab coat, and they put a stethoscope around her, and they might even put like little glasses on her. Mm-hmm. And so they sat her in this chair. And so in whatever this episode was, me and Nick Offerman were supposed to be so dumb that we didn't realize that was not a person, that was a monkey dress. So we go in there and we're talking to this person like it's a monkey, you know, and we're like giving her the time of day. Like, you don't even understand, you know, like the reason I'm late for work is because blah, blah, blah. And then he slowed me down because, you know, and the monkey's just like sitting there. Like the monkey was like supposed to just type on their keyboard the whole time and like ignore us. But but the animal wrangler told us, like, he said, no matter what you do not look the monkey in the face. Like, don't look at the monkey. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, let's get ready to roll. And I'm like, whoa. What do you mean? Like, where should I look? Like, they're like, I don't know, but don't look at the monkey, because that is an aggressive, you know, body language. It'll attack you. And this baboon will, you know, rip your face off. Because that's what they do. And so I was like, okay, man. And but this wrangler guy was also like a crazy character. So their to do that job,
You gotta be a specific.
you have to be because they live with all of the animals.
They live with them?
They usually live with them in like a van, and they're like they're on call. They're like ready to go. I mean, I'm joking, but they live on like a ranch,
and they spend most of their time with.
But they're with
animals.
Yeah, they don't like people. They only like animals.
Yeah,
and yeah, so those people are really interesting to talk to because they're, by and large, the most insane person on set, and they're always like missing a finger too,
right? Yeah,
for various reasons.
Where'd you end up looking with the baboon?
Good question. I looked like just over his head, but
Were you
but even that, I was terrified.
Yeah.
Dude,
Did you think about
terrified.
sneaking in a mad dog just to test it?
On the last take? Maybe I was gonna like
You square up a little bit.
get him a little like eye contact just to see what he would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so those people are always like pretty insane to talk to, and they always smell like the animals. They're around animals a lot. I'm not trying to criticize them. They're human beings.
Observations,
but they're barely human beings. These are barely human beings,
right?
And they don't deserve the rights of humans.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, animal wranglers do not deserve the rights of humans.
I hear you.
Brother.
I
got you, dude.
Yeah. Do you want to do an ad and then we'll get into questions?
Yeah. Guys.
Do you want another water?
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean because, guys, this is the leading company that lets people know that not only do you take care of your outer regions that people are going to see, you take care of your pubes.
And what is the actual machinery? Just because I'm not familiar with the Manscaped product line.
They just came out with the Lawnmower 3.0, which has skin-safe technology. So you can just go around your junk and
and just whack it down.
Give yourself a nice H cut and not have to worry about getting cut.
How often do I need to take it down?
I do it daily.
Every day you're trimming your pubes. Every day.
Ever since they sponsored us, yeah.
But now, if I do it as often as you do it, does that not encourage pube growth? Like if I'm, for example, if I'm trimming my hedges at home, the more I trim them, the quicker they grow back.
I thought the same thing, but Manscaped, they squashed that rumor pretty quick.
They did. The science is valid.
Yeah.
Okay. And to be clear, I'm not a paid part of this commercial. I'm just a passerby.
You're just a fan.
I'm just a citizen curious about your pubes.
So, guys, you heard it from Rob. Use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com for 20% off your order.
Don't say you heard it from Rob, guys.
Go deep 20 manscaped.com, 20% off, free shipping. I got to pee real quick, but
you do.
Let's keep going. Yeah.
All right. You want me to ask the question, or you want me? We'll just chat.
Oh yeah. I'll listen to the question.
No. I'll just. We can just chat about something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
You fire away, bro. I'm ready.
May I break in?
Yeah, get in there, Aaron.
You know what always kills me on shows, and I was a huge fan of 24, is like the amount of times per episode people cock their guns.
Yeah.
And it's just a sound effect usually, but it's just like, okay, that's a bullet you just threw out.
When people come in and they cock the shotgun, you're like, we only have 5 rounds, and you just lost 20% of your
expending your rounds for no reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretty silly gun work, and I'm not a gun fan, but it does make you look cool. Like, I can't deny that, and it is a part of the TV movie world, so I don't know. I mean, I don't want to promote it, but it is like, well, if I'm doing a thing where they would have guns, I gotta be fucking good at it.
Yeah. Well, Jean-Luc Godard, I think he said, I only need 2 things to make a movie: a woman and a gun.
Wow.
That was it. He probably needed more stuff. But
it seems like you would need snacks, like a van.
You need craft services.
Probably need a camera.
People get ornery if they don't have food. Yeah.
You need a camera and a microphone, Jean-Luc, you fucking dodo.
Pretentious dick.
Yeah.
And then his buddy, Francois Truffaut, he said there's no way to make a anti-war film.
Is that true?
Every war movie makes it look cool.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I guess there were some Vietnam movies that made it look
Jarhead made it look boring.
Jarhead, oh man. I'm in Jarhead, right?
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Are you really?
I play Jarhead.
What?
I am the main Jarhead. No. I've never seen Jarhead. I've seen Three Kings. That was a good movie.
That was a great movie.
Yeah,
David
another
O. Russell.
Clooney, my best friend.
Clooney and David O. Russell fist fought on that movie.
Is that true?
Yeah, David O. Russell was like berating the crew.
Oh,
and
wow.
George Clooney, he's a man of the people. He was like, maybe you saw this on Descent. He's like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then David O. Russell got in his face, and I heard Clooney landed a nice headbutt.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to headbutt a director?
I don't know.
If
Great
you're
director,
If you're
too.
number one on the call sheet,
Wow.
I think it's
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah. If you're number one, you can
If
do
you're
it.
number two,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Shin kick, maybe.
You know, going back to the gun thing, something that that I had trouble with way back when I first started doing like gun stuff on TV was when you shoot it, you know, you're just shooting like sometimes it's just a plastic gun, sometimes it's like a metal gun, but there's no, I always said earlier, there's no like kickback.
Oh, really?
There's no sound at all. Cause you know, it's just a toy. It's just it's a whatever, a clogged gun. You know, there's
You
no,
don't
there's no,
use like blanks or
Right.
caps?
no, not usually. I mean, sometimes there's
There's no slide action.
sometimes if there's a close-up shot of the gun, they'll use a type of gun that has a little muzzle fire that comes out, but like it's only like flash paper or whatever. I think I'm not an expert on all this shit, but anyway. So sometimes I would do the thing that you do when you're a little kid running around, where you'd be like, you know, with your mouth,
Yeah.
and they'd be like, whoa, cut. Hey man, you can't make the noise with your mouth. You
Yeah.
know, like we can see you. Don't worry. We're going to put in like a sound effect and like a digital thing to make it look like you fired something. So don't go like,
Yeah.
but it's so instinctive to do that
Yeah.
when it doesn't do anything and you go up and you have to like assassinate someone.
You need the kickback.
You have to
feel.
do like otherwise
Yeah.
you're just like doing nothing.
So much
what-
acting
so
is
yeah.
doing less than you think you need to do.
For sure, yeah.
That's why Time Crisis is such a good game.
The
'cause it has the
best.
kickback.
It's got the slide.
You're like, I feel like I can actually use these guns effectively because it's
Is Time Crisis a
kickback.
game? I don't even
Like
know
the
that.
best arcade games
yeah,
ever.
Oh, really?
it's from like the 2000s.
Okay, I wasn't born then.
So if you step off the pedal, there's a pedal to go along with your gun.
Uh-huh.
If you step off the pedal, you go into a crouch, so you can't be hit by the computer.
Oh,
and
that
then
makes
if you
sense.
press on the pedal, you get back into an attack position.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I would do. Yeah.
Well, yeah. What's your hobby? How do you burn time and decompress and
You know, I have
get
so
in
much
touch with you?
free time, guys. No, I have a 3-year-old, so that's like my hobby. But I like to try to do stuff like skiing or mountain biking when I can, and I like to go on hikes. And is this a date? Are we on a date right now?
I don't know.
Oh man.
Well, now that
Are
I know
you-
you're married and have a kid, yeah.
Yeah,
What kind of skiing do you like to do? Are you a mogul guy?
I am a mogul guy.
I'm a mogul guy.
You seem like a mogul guy.
Oh, dude, thank you.
Is Chad Kroeger also? Do people ask you? Am I saying your last name right?
Yeah.
Is that a person in a band?
The lead singer of Nickelback.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
good band.
Yeah. Wait a
Yeah.
second. I would fight you on that one.
What?
Do when you make a dinner reservation, if you called, wherever, TGI Fridays, and you said, "Hey, I'm coming in Friday night with my girlfriend. It's Chad Kroeger." Do they go, "Oh wow, we can't wait to meet you, Mr. Kroeger"?
Yeah, usually they would be like, of Nickelback? I'll be like, yeah.
Is that true? Do they say of Nickelback?
Often, yeah.
Wow.
And I'm not going to lie, I've used it to gain some pretty serious access, but
Yeah, and like, what was like the coolest access you got because of your name?
probably like I'd skip the line at Dantana's.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
I mean, Nickelback, they fucking jam.
Yeah. Do they still jam?
Yeah, they're about to go on
dude.
tour.
Yeah.
They're on tour right now.
We're gonna go to their first stop in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah,
You're gonna fly to North Carolina to go see Nickelback.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you want to come?
I actively don't want to come, and I actively am thinking about stopping you guys from going. What is the date?
You wouldn't be the first to try.
Yeah. It's June 17th.
June 17th. You're flying to North Carolina to see Nickelback.
Yeah,
I want to see Photograph live. I want to see Rockstar live. I want to see How You Remind Me live.
I want to see if everyone cared live, far away.
Is this ironic enjoyment of the band or sincere appreciation?
Dude, this is full. I used to be embarrassed about it. I used to be shy.
Yeah.
Because every time Nickelback would come on the radio, I'd crank the knob, to max potential.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell anyone until I met, JT and I became boys, and we sort of bonded over that. So
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And now I'll
And
say,
did you
I'll say
know
it to anyone.
when you were first making friends with Chad?
Yeah.
Did you know his last name?
Uh huh.
And was that a main reason for your initial friendship? on some level, did you hope that it was the guy from Nickelback?
Yeah. But then I knew he had that name for a reason.
Well, I think
it's because he was carrying that same essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said I had the same spirit as.
Did your mom? Are your mom and dad big Nickelback fans?
Chad.
Is that
What's up?
Are your mom and dad big Nickelback fans? Did they say when you were born? Do you think they said? I don't know how long Nickelback has been around. I also don't know. I don't know how old you are. I don't know.
I think it's been 20 years since
you could be
first
30
album.
or you could be 12. I'm not positive.
Yeah,
Are we going shirts off, bro?
We've done it before when we had Frank Rillo on the pod. He's a pretty jacked dude.
You know, my parents. I'm. You know, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure they made love in the back of my dad's Camry.
Yeah, listening to Nickelback.
Mm-hmm. And then I was conceived, and
so they said, "We got to do it. We got to do it."
They actually told us at work we can't take our shirts off anymore when we work outside.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
because of harassment.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, they just don't want us to be more tan than the rest of the office.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a different reason.
Yeah.
If they're just trying to, when you guys go to North Carolina, do you guys think you're going to get pretty tan?
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's June.
I mean, we'll be shirtless.
You'll be shirtless the whole time?
At least at the concert for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because on the plane, but not on the plane.
I've been shirtless on a plane before.
Whoa.
It didn't go over great.
I can't imagine that it would.
I thought everybody thought I was making a joke, like I was doing it to be funny, but I was just sweating a lot and kind of having a panic attack, so I just disrobed to get more comfortable, but not to like be funny.
Man, one time I sat next to Sway on the plane.
Oh,
nice.
You know who Sway is
from MTV News.
Yes, this is back in my MTV days.
He's our Walter Cronkite.
That's right, he still is. And I was flying from LA to New York on the red eye, which is a late night overnight flight, and I had stomach problems, and I ended up getting up and just destroying the bathroom like 12 times on the flight. But I was sitting next to Sway, and so every time I had to like climb over Sway because I was sitting in like the middle seat on this red eye, and I just felt so bad. I just wanted to tell Sway, like, I'm so sorry, because I didn't know him. I still don't know him. But Sway, if you're listening, I know he's a fan of the pod. So if you're listening, I want to apologize for that flight.
What up, Sway?
Yeah, thank you for being honest and vulnerable.
I mean, I know that people. I know that's one of the main reasons people come on this show is to apologize to other people,
especially MTV News correspondents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I got that out of the way. Thank you for letting me do that,
dude. Thank you.
I farted on Kurt Loder one time.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I saw it.
Whoa. Did Kurt Loder know that?
No.
Well, it sounds like you got something to say to Kurt Loder right now.
I'm sorry, Kurt. And I'm sorry I blamed it on Maria Menounos.
Chad, would you like to apologize to any MTV News correspondents?
Yeah.
Do you need some help thinking of some?
I remember when you punked Chris Conley that time.
No, dude, don't bring that up.
I'm sorry. I know Matt Pinfield was pretty pissed about it.
Matt Pinfield was still pissed at you.
Yeah, I called Carson Daly a renob one time.
Oh man.
On Twitter, and he blocked me.
He blocked you?
Mm-hmm.
So then we went to his show late night with Carson Daly, and Chad screamed it at him from the audience.
And then, well, I was on such a tear that after that, I commented on one of James Franco's photos because I was just like out of my mind. I was like, "You suck." He blocked me too.
Do you guys do a lot of pranks?
I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I did it.
Do you do a lot of pranks to people?
No.
Activism. We do activism.
Yeah.
Like corporate pranks?
No one pays us.
What do you mean activism?
We go to like city council meetings and we speak up for causes that are near and dear to us, like getting a statue for Paul Walker to unite the nation.
Oh wait, someone told me
house
this.
Parties.
This is real.
Yeah.
So you guys, like, how many town council meetings have you guys been to? If you had to guess,
like 40.
40?
Yeah.
And you will stand up there and earnestly. Is it ironic or is it?
No, it's
legit?
for real.
No,
it's for real.
I'm not a fan of irony.
So will you?
I like dramatic irony.
How do you figure out the issue that you're going to speak up for?
Usually it's inspiration. I mean, the first one was the Paul Walker statue. And that just came from the soul. We're both huge Paul fans. It was around 2016. So the whole
There's a city
was,
council meeting where they were thinking about maybe having a Paul Walker statue, and some people were against it, or
was general
you
comment
initiated
off
it.
agenda.
Yeah, we brought this to
Off
them.
topic.
Yeah.
Great. And
For
you brought
me-
it up. And did the statue get built?
A 1 foot statue got built. But we've had offers, but none are of the quality that we're searching for. So we're waiting for that 12-foot steel one.
Dude, genuinely, yeah, you don't know how hard it is to get a 12-foot steel, like, cast iron statue built, and then to also find a place to, like, land it safely.
Yeah.
Because the issue is we can build a statue and we can drop it on the San Clemente Pier where we wanted to drop it, but if some little dude, some little grom climbs up that thing, falls off, cracks his collarbone, or worse, gets some head trauma, that falls on us.
Liability.
Yeah.
What if to even look at the statue, people had to sign a waiver, a legal waiver that said, like, if you climb on this, bro.
I don't think Paul would be
That's not
on
in the
board with
spirit
that.
of
Yeah, it's not really his
Yeah.
ethos.
Can you give me an example, just because I don't know, I didn't do the research, of some other issues that you have promoted at town council meetings?
We bleached this was not for town council, but we bleached our hair for the coral to bring awareness to coral bleaching, which is when the water gets hot, the coral bleaches itself.
You don't have to explain coral bleaching to me, man. I started it.
You started
You started
bleaching
bleaching?
the coral?
Were we not supposed to?
No, it's like a huge environmental issue.
How'd you start it?
I own a bleach company, and we have tankers that go around and we park right over the coral reef, and we deposit millions and millions of gallons
Rob,
of
what the
bleach
fuck, dude?
That's you?
to make the coral more delicious.
Delicious.
No, dude,
Then
it's not like liquid marshmallow. I mean, it needs color.
You guys just got pranked. I don't actually own a bleach company.
Oh, dude.
Because it's alive. It's a polyp. A lot of people don't know that.
You got pranked.
Yeah.
You got pranked and you got pranked. There's a camera. There's a camera. There's a camera. There's a
No,
camera. There's
dude,
one.
no.
There's one. There's
What?
one.
I forgot.
You guys got.
Dude, that's
Dude,
we were
you
watching,
annihilated me,
you
bro.
just got annihilated.
we were watching Punk'd, and we were watching an episode with Justin Timberlake, and at the end, they're punking him because they're like, "This is IRS. We're taking all your shit."
Yeah.
And then
I feel
Ashton
like I
comes
saw
out
that
and
one.
he's like, "It's all the boxes, bro. What's
Yeah.
going on?"
He got him.
Do you ever watch? Did you ever see a show called Scare Tactics? Do you know
Oh
what that
yeah,
is?
yeah.
Yeah, that's like a great. It's like pranks, but it's like horror pranks. So it's entertaining on two levels. It's like scaring you, but also hilarious because they're pranking like one person. Like they'll basically set up a huge, like pretty complicated situation just to prank like one dude who like doesn't know that he's
Right.
on a TV show. But it's really funny and elaborate.
Yeah, I need to
You should
watch
watch
more
it.
of it.
Yeah, there's kind of a similar one that the kid from Stranger Things, his name is
Yeah.
Gayton.
He's a prank lord god.
So he did one, I think, called Prank Encounters on Netflix, but it's actually really good.
Really?
Yeah, it is like unironic.
check
Like,
that out.
yeah, it's really good because it's long. Like
Yeah.
it's like a half hour to prank like one person and keep pranking them.
Yeah.
And kind of what they do is they set up on this show. I don't know why I'm plugging this show.
I think it's cool.
I'm not on this show at all.
Yeah.
But they prank someone and then they have kind of a different situation going on somewhere else with a different unsuspecting person, and they bring those people together, and so both those people start like, oh, what they end up. It's like an interesting psychological experiment because it's two panicked people amping each other up because they're both so panicked, and so like for example. It always starts off with like a person getting a weird new job. So it'll be like a guy working in a warehouse overnight, but the warehouse is out in the middle of the desert and near like Area 51. This is a bad example. Like this isn't really on the show, but so be some college kid like working in a warehouse out near Area 51. So meanwhile, there's also a guy who gets a new job off of Craigslist or something, who's driving like a delivery van, and so that guy, So they'll have the guy in the warehouse. Shit will start to happen where like boxes will start to like levitate, or like blood will start to like pour out of the walls. So this guy's working overnight by himself and he's already like freaked out. And then this delivery driver they'll have come up and he's got something in like a crate in the back of his van that's making all kinds of weird noises or whatever. So then once they put those two people together, they both like end up like really scaring the crap out of each other. So it's really funny.
That's smart. Cool. Should we answer a couple cues? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you like horror?
Yeah.
Are you a horror fan?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. That was your question?
That's it, yeah.
You are the Walter Cronkite of our generation. You said it was Sway, but it's not.
I'd prefer Kurt Loder, but thank you.
All right. I have a huge question for the podcast. It's about my roommate plus very close friend continuously cheating on his girl, and I don't know how to deal with it. His girlfriend is amazing, but he's hooking up with girls we were hanging out with, and it is putting a rift between us also. His girlfriend is an amazing girl, and I feel so bad I want to say something, but never will, since it's not my place to say something. But he always lies when I question him on stuff, and I am now thinking, does he even care about our friendship, or is he just trying to be friends because he can then hang out with girls I hang out with who are just friends of mine? I'd love some input. You guys are the boys.
Was boys with a Z on the end? Because the way you read it sounded like a Z.
No, there's no Z.
So it's just an S.
How did I say it?
Well, you said, I'd love some input. You guys are the boys.
Oh, that's sick.
No, I'm not complimenting you.
Oh.
I'm pointing out, anyway, you should be aware of it.
Yeah, my vernac is pretty specific.
So can you kind of recap the problem?
So this guy's friends with another guy who won't stop cheating on his girlfriend and keeps hooking up with girls who the guy is friends with, the emailer's friends with.
I feel like there's a little bit of jealousy here.
Absolutely.
And I don't know this guy. Do you guys know this person?
No.
But he's a friend, theoretically, from the pod. I'm certainly a friend of the show.
I genuinely care about him.
So you do have...
I do care about him.
So we got to help him. It sounds like he is a little bit jealous of his bro.
Yeah.
Right? And what are you going to say to your bro who's just basically cleaning up? You could say, hey, Bill, don't, not with Sheila. Sheila's my friend. These are all names that are probably not accurate. But,
yeah, the actual conversation's a difficult one to have.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, I think it's kind of scummy how you're like hooking up with girls all the time. That's like very judgmental. And then he's gonna be like, yeah, you just think that because you're not hooking up with girls.
Right.
And then you guys are just in a place where you're both judging the fuck out of each other.
And I feel like guys generally aren't gonna do that to other guys. Like, I feel like that's sort of like a thing where, I don't even ask my friends that are guys. Like, I have friends that are single, and I don't say like, hey, what's going on in your love life? Like, my wife will ask me, she's like, is so-and-so dating anyone? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't ask because, like, I don't want to make them feel bad if they're not, or what, it's like, it's not.
Yeah.
So I feel like.
I like to get in there. I like to know.
You do?
Yeah. And if one of my bros is cheating on his girlfriend, I will be like, I won't judge him, but I'm like, hey, bro, like, if he tells me, like, hey, I might go hook up with this chick tonight or something, I'm like, why don't we just, like, go, like, play FIFA or something like that? Just because I think
you would say that. You would say you would steer him away from actual live physical sexual pleasure and say, let's go play FIFA.
Yeah. I would hope they would do the same thing for me if I was cheating. Yeah.
Chad Kroger.
What's up?
Alarmingly quiet. Alarmingly quiet in this. Is this a true statement that he would steer?
No, he's being straight up.
He would steer another dude away from physical coming. I'm going to say it. That's what's at stake here. And he's going to say, let's go play FIFA.
He loves rom-coms.
Yeah, I'd say let's go see a rom-com too. Like if they haven't seen like, Serendipity yet.
I was saying you're romantic.
Oh, thank you.
Whenever he sees true love or what he perceives as a nice relationship,
he defends it. So wait, we didn't help this guy yet. So you're saying what your advice is essentially tell your bro to come play FIFA with you.
Well, I don't think you can really change this dude. He seems like he's pretty set in his ways, and I don't think it's his place to tell the girl. I think what he can do is just stop. If he's hooking up with your friends and you don't like that, stop inviting your friends over, and just hang out with them independent of this dude. And then, it's cliche and it's not the most satisfying answer, but you just got to be the best person you can be, and then hopefully that rubs off on the guy. But I don't know if talking to him is going to lead to anything but conflict if he's young and horny and happy with what he's doing.
Is that the only question we have?
We got 2 more.
Man, there's a lot of questions coming at us tonight. 3 questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's pare down.
I got a question. You like romantic comedies?
Hold on a second. I'm getting a call. Hello? Yeah? What? I would love to. I love romantic comedies. Yes. Okay, I'll see you on set, George Clooney.
Whoa. No way.
Here's my best friend, George Clooney.
You buried the lead. You got
Holy
George's
shit.
number.
The Descendants.
Wow.
What does he want to watch?
He wants me to do a romantic comedy with him.
Ooh.
Dude.
I do
Intolerable Cruelty 2?
I do like romantic comedies, but I don't seek them out. If someone kind of forces it on me, like my wife, there's one that my wife loves called Love Actually. Do you know that one? Yeah.
Oh, of course.
It's a big Christmas movie. So I'll be like, I don't want to watch this. And then I watch them like, yeah, that's pretty
It
good.
charms you.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a genre of movie, it usually does really well. Like what's one, have you seen one from this year that was good?
From Always Be My Maybe did well.
Yep.
That was good.
That was
Yep.
Netflix.
That was fun.
Yep. Ali Wong, Randall Park.
Yeah, I watched. Well, actually, I watched When Harry Met Sally last night.
Wow. So you will just straight up strap yourself in and watch a rom-com.
Oh yeah, I'll text my girlfriend. I'll be like, babe, we watching Friends with Benefits tonight or what?
That's a good one, too.
It's Justin Timberlake,
Yep.
Mila Kunis.
Thank you for saying it with the accent.
Richard Jenkins.
It's kind of my style.
Yeah. So she'll come over. You guys will watch.
She prefers
Friends with
murder.
Benefits.
You know it.
She
Yeah.
prefers murder.
That's
I
interesting.
prefer rom-coms.
Real murder, like Dateline, like trying to solve a real cold case,
Yeah.
or a fake movie about a murder.
She'd prefer to listen to a podcast about a real murder.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, which is kind of a nice dichotomy in the relationship.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I think it might be pronounced dichotomy.
For real?
That's an interesting dichotomy between the two of you on the pronunciation.
I would even
But I don't know if it's binary like that.
I would even suggest to you, JT, that it's dichotomy also. But these are all things we can sort out
Yeah.
after the fact. Let's get to our next question.
Sure. What's up, guys? My GF and I.
Hey, what's up? Sorry.
My GF and I have been dating for a while now, and I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to tell her I love her. But the thing is, she's studying abroad right now, and I won't be seeing her for a few more months. Hoping you guys can give a fellow Stoker some advice on how to drop the long-distance L-bomb. Should I just do it over a FaceTime call, or wait it out to say in person? Second part, how important is saying I love you for the first time in a relationship? Thanks, boys. Peace and love.
Now, your pronunciation of boys on that one was a lot better.
I think I adjust it depending on what preceded it in the email.
Your vernac. Yeah.
Yeah. My patty
So,
claw.
so how important is it saying I love you? Is that this person's question? Or should he wait until she gets back? Or should he text her? Was that it?
Yeah, so he's wondering because she's abroad, and he's like, all right, so do I hold it in? Do I stuff it down? Do I wait till she gets back and then I unleash in person? Or do I just tell her over FaceTime? Which is, not a bad option.
I don't know, man. I think you got to do that shit in person. I think you got to be. Yeah, I think
nice.
it's more meaningful, especially the first time, especially if it's someone that you really care about.
Yeah.
To do it in person, like you could even go over to where she is, fly over there, bro, for the weekend. Where is she? We don't know. She's abroad.
She's abroad.
So that could be, one of 4 places.
Yemen.
Yeah. Bangladesh,
Kuwait.
or Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's one of those places. Mm-hmm. So you could go there, but that's probably expensive. But I think you just got to sit on that news until she gets back.
Yeah, I agree. I think patience is the key. But if you can't hold it in and you got to let it out, shameless plug, manscape it into your pubes. Send that photo.
So you're suggesting that he shave the words "I love you" into his pubescape
with the lawnmower 3.0.
Man, you are always plugging.
He did it when they weren't paying us.
Well,
For love of the plug.
just straight up dropping it in there. And so you would take a picture of that, you would shave it into your pubes,
Yeah, I've done it.
and then text them that picture. And so that
No dong though. I'm not telling them to send a dong pic.
of course not. You're not an animal.
Yeah.
So you would send them the picture, and then you hope that this girl is like impressed with your pube thatch.
I think this day and age, there's so many options out there with Tinder. She's, in Kuwait, so you know what she's up to.
A lot of people over there that want to date her.
Yeah. And so I think you gotta
It's pretty hard.
You gotta think outside the box.
All right.
Yeah.
JT?
I like the idea of going to visit her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you got the scratch, put it down on a flight, tell her you're coming, and then
Here's an idea.
Tell her in person.
That's expensive, right? Here's an
Soup's
idea.
expensive.
What's this emailer's name?
Um,
Oh, I shouldn't have even asked. This is going to take... JT, you don't have...
Dylan.
That took way too long.
No, that was pretty quick.
I would say, Dylan, start a GoFundMe for this endeavor, that you're going to fly overseas to tell your girlfriend that you love her for the first time. That shit will go viral. Mm-hmm. That shit will get on CNN. And then everyone will be like, oh, that is so awesome. I got to give him $100. And then pretty soon it gets on, all over the place. And then you make so much money. Mm-hmm. You can start a business doing that. Then you just fly all over the world telling different girls that you love them.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
It's like, you see how popular The Bachelor is?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Did we solve that guy's problem?
I think so. Yeah, you're in good shape though, dude. However it shakes out, you guys are going to be good, and I appreciate how you feel about it. All right, aloha to my favorite SoCal dogs. I'm contacting you across the Pacific from beautiful Japan. I got a serious quest regarding one of the bros in the squad. One of the homies started dating his current GF about 2 months ago. They're a cute couple, but there's one bad thing about the relation. The bro can never hang out with the rest of the squad. We see him once in a blue moon when his girlfriend has a meeting or something else going on. His girlfriend doesn't like him smoking, but she's chill. We think she's bad news for him. What should the dudes do to get the homie back?
Can I say something? I zoned out in the middle of that.
That happens a lot.
I'm really sorry.
And that's one of the shorter ones.
I looked at my phone. Can you just recap for me just the bullet points?
Okay, this dude is across the pond in Japan.
Now you're just reading it.
No, I was gonna.
I was with you on all, and then
I was gonna suss out the salient
I know he's got a
ones.
problem with his GF.
No, his buddy is close. His buddy is dating someone, and he doesn't have time to hang out with him anymore.
Okay, that's what's going on.
And he wants his bro back.
Okay. Ooh, this is a tough one. We see this a lot, right, guys?
Often.
We see this a lot.
Aaron, you see it a lot?
Yeah.
Good call, Aaron. Thanks for the input. So what do you... What's the danger here? You know what I mean? Like, what's at stake? Male friendship.
Yeah,
The squad.
The squad.
quality time,
Which
which is a lot of people's primary love language.
Yes. Yes. Have you guys written that book yet?
No, mine is touch.
Why did you start to say touch?
Because
You started to say fingering.
Physical touch.
No, you started to say fingering.
Look, I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, you're not wrong.
So how does he... Well, first of all, who are we rooting for? Are we rooting for the other guy and his girlfriend? That's, that's love and that's important. But broing out.
Yeah, I mean...
Being a good bro is important.
You want to see this guy live up to his full potential.
Why can't they share the friend?
I think that's the move. I think you just ask your bro to give you one day a week that's just for you guys.
Yep. To do activities like...
Smoke weed, play video games,
rom-coms,
work out,
karate fight,
taking a film.
You've got mail.
Manscaping.
Did you say you've got mail?
And I said, you?
YOU apostrophe VE. The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nora Ephron.
No, I know the movie.
It's delightful.
I thought you were promoting like just the use of email, like you've got mail, like you should check your emails together.
Oh, I'm always in favor of global communication, but
right.
My dog rips at email too.
I do, yeah.
For real?
I love emailing, yeah.
How many can you send in like an hour?
30?
Line them up, Rob.
What?
Yeah.
For sure.
Original drafts.
Original drafts.
Completely.
I sign it off with Stoke, Chad.
What?
I have a photo in there. I don't have like a set thing, like a set sign-off thing. It's custom every time.
Whoa.
Because I don't want people to think like I'm just getting the typical go around
form letter. Yeah.
I want to say something sincere about them. Like,
all right.
Like
What's your
Rob,
email?
I like that you ski. That would go in yours.
You would sign off an email if you emailed me after this podcast, and you would say, "Hey, thanks for coming on the show. It was really fun."
Yeah.
P.S. I like that you ski. Love, Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't.
And you knew the love would be in there too.
But it's just don't. I feel like cramming in a factoid like that is like a little weird.
Hey, look, you know what? I understand how you feel about that, but I've learned all my years of emailing that you got to be fully honest and say what you like about them.
Yeah.
What's your email?
What's my email address? If I gave it out on the air, would I get a lot of emails?
Probably.
Man, that would be awesome.
You'd have to give a lot of advice.
I'm trying to do the Clooney reverse.
The reverse Clune.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a phone number, but close. It's high stakes. It's high stakes. And also because we're recording.
That's an added element.
I mean, because I'm guessing that I would get so many emails from bros. I'd end up having to spend so much time re-emailing different bros.
Lots of bros, yeah.
Yeah. And they're all pretty compelling, so you'd feel compelled to respond.
Yeah, especially with advice questions and stuff like, love matters of the heart, So I'll give you my email, but I can't give it to everybody.
Oh, dude, no worries.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we continue?
Chad, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to JT.
Why? Because I already told you what I'd sign off with?
Yeah. I didn't like that stuff about all the skiing. It's a little too personal for me.
You know what, Rob? You couldn't handle them anyways.
Oh.
Fuck. That's it.
Oh.
My email is robhuebel@hotmail.
Oh, dude.
You email me anytime, bro.
This is freaking sent. I had one fired up, ready to go. I already knew your email, by the way.
It's a good one. It is a good one.
Robster 5000. Chad, what is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with just straight up beef. I miss it.
Wow. Because of the cleanse.
Yeah, I haven't had beef in 5 days, so... what up, beef? I miss you.
How much beef do you eat normally?
I eat a fair amount. I eat beef probably every day.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Everyday beef?
I'm of the mind that it's actually healthy for you.
Yeah. Well, but everyone says that it's not.
Yeah, but I always try to, I'm kind of a contrarian.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Is that when you think like the opposite of what everyone else thinks?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So like, even when it comes to like medicine or like science?
Yeah, no.
That stuff's pretty subjective.
Yeah.
All right. Now I see what kind of podcast this is. So everyday beef.
For breakfast.
Yep. All right. So you miss it.
I miss it, yeah. So it's not really a beef with beef. It's more like
shout out.
A shout out, yeah, to beef. I mean, because I'm so hungry right now that even when I was thinking, I'm like, what is my beef of the week? Just hearing the word beef, I was like, I just got to talk about beef.
What about if they did a juice cleanse that was beef flavored?
Oh.
It was like a juice, but it was kind of like a gravy.
I think that sounds like the dankest juice cleanse that could ever exist.
I'd love to be a football coach and just get that poured on my head after we won the Super Bowl.
Oh, dude.
Instead of Gatorade.
Yeah.
Like a nice beef gravy.
A nice stew.
Yeah, dude, if I was a coach, I would have bone broth poured on my head.
Yeah.
Scalding hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like, what was that? That wasn't Gatorade. No, it's bone broth. My guys know. That's the way I roll. I love hot bone broth.
Took 4 guys with gloves to pick up that cauldron.
Yeah. It's going to enhance your vitality.
I could see Pete Carroll doing that. Yeah, he's a wild man. Rob, what's your beef of the week?
I got a lot of beefs. I feel like people would have covered this beef. I was just at the airport recently, and no big deal. I can afford to go to the airport. And I was waiting for my luggage to come out on the luggage carousel. And I don't like the way that everyone crowds into the luggage carousel and boxes you out so you can't get your bag. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we all just agreed to hang back, and then when you see your bag, step up and get it, that would be more efficient. So I think my beef is with people that do that. Probably, if I really drilled down on it, there would be people that do rude stuff on planes and airports and stuff like, you do see a lot of that. Like, I recently saw a woman on a plane. Actually, it was a video. My wife showed me a video of a woman swiping her TV screen on the plane, but with her bare foot.
Oh, wow.
She was swiping through the movies with her bare fucking foot.
That's hot.
No, that's not where I was. That was the opposite of the point I was trying to make, which is that it was gross. So yeah, I think people doing gross shit on airplanes and weird stuff.
I hear you. Amen.
My beef of the week is with Jessica from the reality TV show on Netflix, Love is Blind. I came in liking Jessica. I thought she was vulnerable and sincere. She ends up not getting the first guy she was attracted to, Barnett, who's kind of a ladies' man type. And she ends up with this guy, Mark, who's very sincere, very young, very doe-eyed golden retriever. And she doesn't want to be with him, but instead of breaking it off, she abuses this guy every ep, dude. This dude's getting shredded. She just is going up to all the other people on the cast, and she's like, Mark's not the kind of guy I would generally want to be with. He's short. He's not really my type. You're like, can't you just suffer through this internally? Like, you're talking to these people who are all friends with Mark, and you're on camera. Then she just starts getting housed. She's like hammered every episode. Like, definitely got a drinking problem. She's arguing with Mark. She puts her wine glass down and lets her dog, take some licks out of the wine glass. And she did it so nonchalantly that you can tell she does it all the time. Like, the dog shithoused probably 80% of the time. And then she's in bed with Mark. He says some innocuous comment that she takes to like DEFCON 5. And then she just goes, well, you want to know something? I think Barnett's hot. I think he's sexy. Talking about the first guy she had a crush on in the show. It's like...
What is the format? What is the format of Love is Blind?
It's brilliant. Okay, but it's...
I watched the trailer, but I don't
But it's
remember.
scary. It's like dystopian, it's like a George Saunders
people
short
choosing
story.
their mate without seeing them. It's just the sound of their voice.
You got a wall between you, and you just have these long conversations, and you're cycling through different people throughout the day. You have to be married at the end of 37 days, so the people who they're focusing on...
You have to marry the person?
And they propose after like 5 conversations, never having seen their face.
What?
And then they all go live together in Mexico, and then they all go back and live together in Atlanta in like apartment complexes.
Oh, so they get out of the not seeing each other thing right away.
Yeah. Okay. Well, after like a couple days. But then it's like they go through all the like stations of a relationship in the course of like 3 weeks. Like some of the fights they're having after like 2 weeks, you're like, oh, that's a fight I would have with my partner after like 2 years. But everything's like hyped up on roids because they're on this show.
Right.
And Jessica is just shredding this guy, Mark.
Now, let me ask you a question. If Jessica walked in this door right now...
I'd be stoked.
And said, JT, I heard your voice on the pod. I've never seen you, but as you know, that's how I find my lovers. And I think I'm really into you. Would you ditch us right now and walk away with Jessica? After what you just said, because you went off. I'm going to say I've been doing this podcast for a little over an hour.
You've really committed to it.
I have not seen you get that emotional about something.
I've been pretty fired up about it. Dude, I can tell you, I want to say yes, I would walk away with her just to be a bad boy, who would have fun and take the sex, you know what I mean? Or take the romance. But dude, honestly, I feel so connected with you, Rob, and I'm so disappointed with how Jessica treated Mark that I can sincerely tell you, I would tell her to walk. And I would stay in the pocket with you guys and finish out these beefs, babes, and legends.
Because you had no way of knowing this, but I have a little surprise planned for you right now. Send in Jessica.
What up, Jessica?
Dude, you just got pranked again. You got pranked and you got pranked.
Oh,
there is no Jessica.
I
checked outside to see if
Look,
she was
there's
there.
a camera. There's a camera. There's a camera.
Dude,
there's a camera. You got pranked.
No.
That's twice. You got annihilated twice.
Oh, dude.
Jessica is not here. I have no way to arrange that. I don't know who it is.
I thought you were for real because I sent her an email last night.
Oh man, no, I don't even know her. I don't know how to get in touch with her. But the fact that you
roasted me, bro.
decided to stay with us means a lot.
I passed a test, kind of.
It was a test. It was a trick.
That's so cool.
Yeah, good job.
That was awesome.
Damn, dude. I don't know if I can like trust you, but I do, because I know in the end you're just doing it to make me better.
These are pranks just to make us better people.
I'm just worried about the test I'm going to face.
Don't worry.
You got one cooking up for me?
It's a big one.
Dude, I'm psyched.
Big one. It's like a mind fuck. Yours is a mind fuck.
Has it been going on for like years?
Yes. I'll start with this. Your parents are not your parents.
What?
So just think about that.
What?
Just think about it.
All right.
That's just the first level.
Are you good, Chad? What's your legend?
My legend is also our dog Amir.
Oh, nice.
Because I was hanging out with him on a couch in an establishment.
Sorry, what's this part of the show?
Oh, I messed up. She was supposed to be Babe.
Where we say...
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, I'm just figuring out what we're doing.
Oh, this is our legend of the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's normally the Babe of the week right now, but we messed up the order.
Oh, okay.
So my legend is Amir, our dog Amir, who I was hanging out with him on a couch in an establishment Saturday night.
You can say the name of it. We don't care.
Bert's back room. And he was actually very vulnerable with me.
Your
at one
dog?
moment. Yeah, and he admitted that he has a big dong.
Your dog said that? Your dog indicated that?
He said it straight up. He's like, let me just be honest with you. I have a big dong.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Like, he just came out and told me, no hesitation. No self-pity.
Yeah.
He's just like, I have a big dong.
What breed of dog is this?
No, his dick's big.
No, but you're talking about a dog, right?
Well, it's human, but he's like my dog, Amir.
Okay.
You never heard a dude call another dude his dog?
Oh. I thought you were talking about a real dog named... I was more impressed that you owned a dog named Amir. I thought this was a real dog.
I wish, dude. Maybe I will name my dog. I'm going to get a dog soon. Maybe I will name my dog Amir, as long as it has a huge hog.
So your friend told you that he has a big dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without any self-consciousness, straight up. Mm-hmm. You know, Aaron told us the other week, too. I commend him for his honesty.
Yeah, Aaron. He's got a big dick.
Thanks for being honest, Aaron.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for understanding.
Sorry.
Are you getting emotional?
Yeah, he's getting choked up.
Well, you just told me my parents are my real parents, so how do you want me to react,
Dude,
Rob?
If you're going to get hung up on that part of the prank, you're not going to survive. That's the first piece of information in the life-shattering prank that I've set up for you.
Fuck.
It's going to shatter you,
yeah,
and then rebuild you.
Is he even good at sending emails?
That's not the question. The question is, who is he really emailing?
Did you organize the juice cleanse?
The juice cleanse is also not real.
Fuck.
You've been eating beef in your sleep.
Oh.
Rob.
Secret beef.
Who's your legend of the week?
So what is that? How would you describe that?
It's just like the person from this past week that when you think back on it,
Not a dog.
it can be, but got you like the most hyped up on like the human experience and was the best representative of what it means to be human for the week.
Oh, I got a good one. But this is going to get political, so your bros might get pissed. I went to a thing to hear Adam Schiff talk.
I saw this on your Instagram.
Yeah, the congressman who's our congressman in this county. Mm-hmm. And
he's the head of the intelligence
He's
committee?
the head of the intelligence committee. Yeah, you know what's up. And so he just was like the leader of the impeachment trial that just happened. And so he was just sort of like explaining what that was like. And it was a very casual setting in someone's house where he was just like explaining this to people and like telling stories about that. And it was like, whoa, this guy is going to be remembered for like standing up and like being like fucking hugely brave and unafraid at a time where in our country where like you haven't seen that and you don't see a lot of that anymore. Like people are like very afraid or whatever. And this guy's like, I'm not fucking having it. I will not have it. Mm-hmm. And so, but he doesn't come across that way at all. He comes across like a very like normal person, but it was really cool to like hear him speak.
Nice.
That's awesome. And
also like knowing like, oh, I will never be able to do anything that awesome. It was pretty cool. So I got real on you guys there.
I liked it. Yeah.
That was cool.
I always feel free to get real.
Your friend has a big dick, so that one was better.
I mean, you know.
Dogs, in my defense.
Does Schiff has a
dogs,
piece?
Some dogs, I didn't ask Adam Schiff if he has a big piece. I wouldn't even know how to bring that up. But it was a small setting, so I could have said like, had I known that I was going to come on this podcast, then I could have said, hey, I'm getting ready to go on this podcast. Can I just ask you, bro to bro, do you have a big dick? And then I just could have said whatever. I could have reported back what he would have told us. But
if he has a small one, though, too, I'd be hyped.
You would.
Mm-hmm.
What up, dog? I appreciate what you did for our nation. And I appreciate what you're standing up for. And I just got to wonder, like, what does it take to do stuff like that? You got to have a fucking nice wrench hanging between your legs, right?
You think I could say that? Man. That would take some real
recognizes
swagger.
real.
Yeah.
Dude, my legend of the week is my bro, Chris. Saturday night, did a stand-up show. Didn't feel like myself on stage. But then I went home and watched the fight with my boys. And then we watched Love is Blind. Good fight. Tyson Fury, unbelievable. You know, what that guy's come back from. The struggles he had, very inspiring. You know, I love you, Deontay Wilder. You'll bounce back. Don't wear a 30-pound costume into the ring next time, though. And then after...
What was the costume? I didn't see it.
He wore like a mask that was covering his face, so it was like impeding his breath. And it's like a long walk to the ring. And then he had like 40 pounds of like what looked like football pads on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it was like, you know, an ornate costume. And then and I think it kind of tuckered him out. And because he didn't look like himself. And then everybody left though, and I got super lonely, and I started like spinning out, and I couldn't remember if I took like my anxiety medication, which helps me sleep. And so I knocked on my roommate's room at like 3 a.m, and I was like, yo, Joe, I'm freaking out. Like, I don't know if I took my meds. He's like, what do you want me to do about it? Which is cool that he does that sometimes, because it disabuses me of like my, you know, freaking out. But in this moment, I needed more. So then I drove over to my brother's place at 3 a.m, knocked on his door, and I was like, yo, dude, I'm freaking out. Can I come in? And then we watched some TV, and then he's like, I'm going to bed. And his girlfriend was out of town. I was like, dude, can I sleep in bed with you? And he was like a little taken aback, but he was like, yeah, go for it. And then I crashed in his bed, and it helped. So thanks, dude. He gave me a ride home in the morning. Great guy. Love you, dude.
That's awesome. So your legend is more your brother than it started off, I'm not trying to critique your story, but it started off that you were more psyched about your buddy that came over after the stand-up set, right?
No, I said my bro at the beginning.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, but I took a long route to get back to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife has two. I have two brothers, and my wife has two brothers. And my wife said that like her brothers, even they went to the same college, and sometimes they would like just when they were like lonely or whatever, they'd be like, "Hey man, you want to come over and sleep?" And they'd like sleep in the same bed and be like, "Cool, man." Like,
I love it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, I never did that with my brothers, but
I try to with mine, but he's a little more. He's like, "Get out."
Yeah.
He's also married.
Yeah. That's cool though that your brother helped you out.
He's a great guy. Yeah, he's super solid.
Yeah.
We
should do a prank on him.
What do you want to do? He'll prank you, dude.
Really?
Oh, dude, he's dangerous.
Oh man, I do love a good prank.
Do you like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Don't get me started on that.
For real?
Yeah, I wasn't having it.
I wasn't having it, but he loves it.
Really?
Damn it.
Yeah.
Rob.
Tedious for days.
Oh man,
dude.
you liked me up until that point. I didn't like it, man. I'm the only one because I love his shit. Like I generally love his shit. But that movie to me felt lazy to me. It felt like a stew of things that he likes. And
he wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, hey, I like Bruce Lee. I like martial art. I'll have Bruce Lee in there. And
Digressive as fuck.
Yeah, it just didn't. To me, it didn't add up. Like, and I am such a fan. Like, I really genuinely respect him, or his movies. But I wasn't on board for that.
Yeah.
But people have told me go back and watch it again because it actually is really good. So I got to watch it again.
I got to rewatch it too. Yeah.
I have not seen Joker yet. I heard Joker was like, at first I heard it was like not good, and then someone told me and they're like, I just watched it. It's pretty fucking good. Like
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
It was like acting deep to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, ooh, aren't I intense? Aren't I deep? And I'm like, I don't think so, bro.
Well, I got a little surprise. I got a surprise for you.
No.
Hold on.
No, dude.
Bring in Joaquin.
Oh shit.
What up, dude?
Joaquin, I'm a huge fan, dude.
You got pranked again, dude. You got pranked again. There is no Joaquin. He's not here.
What?
There's a camera. There's a camera. There's a camera. Guys, you're on.
Oh my god.
No.
Your podcast has become my hidden camera prank show.
No way.
You guys keep falling for these great pranks.
Dude,
Lo siento, Joaquin. My bad.
I keep thinking I see him through the window there.
Would you, if you
were
saw,
never really here, Joaquin Phoenix.
If you, I like that movie, by the way.
It was good. Well shot.
That was a wry smile.
Yeah.
I like that movie. You Were Never Really Here, and I mean, he's a really good actor.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah,
that's why he's got to be such a weirdo all the time.
Yeah, but so Joker, you weren't having it.
Nah, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, Chad Kroger. Thoughts, reflections.
No.
I
thought it was really well shot. But I sort of agree with you.
You guys have said that a few times now, that the movie was well shot.
Well, it was like cool,
direction,
cool frames,
cool frames,
cool colors.
Yeah, the dancing on the stairs was good.
Shout out to colors. What's your favorite color, Chad, in a movie? If you're watching a movie,
a movie,
ooh.
Yeah. What do you like to see pop up on the screen?
Yellow.
Dark blues, Michael Mann style.
I like yellow. I like yellow because it represents like the sun and Stoke.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right, Chad. Who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is Clark Little. He's a photographer on the North Shore. I just watched a doc on him on Amazon Prime. It's free. This guy was just like, he's just so fun to watch because he had so much energy and he was so pumped on just photography with waves. He loves the shore break.
What's his name?
He's like Clark Little. He just loves. He's in the North Shore. There's like the Kiki shore break. I think that's how you say it.
Are you a surfer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he loves.
Do you surf, JT?
No, I suck.
Okay.
And he loves just getting pounded in the waves, but like taking cool shots. And it was more so like his photography is amazing, but more just like his outlook on life was amazing. Mm-hmm. He just loves what he does.
Has he ever gotten one of those shots where like he's in the tube, like in the curl, like right as it's like curling around him?
That's like his whole canon.
Yeah, that's his whole.
Is that the right word?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
His oeuvre.
His oeuvre.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
His ovary.
Right.
So look up Clark Little. I think you'll really enjoy.
I'm okay. I'm not gonna look it up.
You don't like waves?
No, I will look it up. I will look it up. But how does he, when he's shooting, is he wearing like swim fins, like, or is he just?
Yeah, he's wearing swim fins.
Okay, so that's cheating. I mean, anybody could do that.
Nah, dude.
All right, Rob.
I like your laugh about that. So he's gonna go ahead. What is he also wearing? Like a flotation device?
Nah.
All right. I'm back on board with Clark Little.
Thank you, dude. That's all I wanted you to say.
So does he shoot tasteful nudes? Or like dick slips, like if a surfer, like, whoops, my bathing suit fell down.
Yeah, well, I think he's known for sort of getting that under the board short shot.
Yeah,
Just as a joke. I mean, he has one of Kelly Slater's like, as a goof, he just likes to, get my hog from like underneath. Yeah. Which I respect. I mean.
Did you watch that Kelly Slater documentary on HBO?
Momentum Generation. We covered it on the pod.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. But we heard Rob Machado's just as competitive as Kelly Slater. You know how they frame him in the film, like Rob Machado's like the soul surfer who wasn't into competition. Everyone's like, no, that's like retroactive, like spin.
Editing. Yeah.
Like the truth is, they're both animals.
Well, that's his brand. Like you said, you think I don't work hard. But
did I say that?
When we started off, you're like, you look like you don't work hard.
Oh, I'm sorry I said that.
No. I took it as a compliment.
Okay.
You told us you were drunk though.
Is there drinking on this podcast?
Hardly ever. If we do it, we do it in the bathroom.
Wait, have I gone over our?
We're done. We're done.
Okay,
but we're gonna split
let's
through
keep
the last
going.
part.
I feel like I've kept you guys late.
No,
you do. This is the best pod we've ever done.
Yeah, this is great.
My baby went to sleep. My real baby. So when she goes to sleep, I fucking roll deep.
Yeah.
Your buddy went to sleep?
My baby.
Oh, I call my buddies my babies.
What's your baby's name?
I'm not gonna say it on a podcast. People will abduct her.
Oh, sorry.
Good call.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the number one cause of abductions is podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get a bro asking her for advice. That's
Speaking
for sure.
of going back to you and talking about like the prank I set up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it involves abduction.
I'm up for it, dude.
You say that now.
Dude, don't make me. I don't kill Chad at any point, do I?
I'll say this. There's a scenario where you have to make a choice of whether or not to kill Chad. You make the choice to kill Chad, and you think that you have actually killed him, but it is revealed later that you didn't kill Chad, but you think that you did, thus bringing you closer, but he will always be suspicious of you.
Dude, let me just say right now, you can kill me. So it doesn't come in between our relationship. So I'm just giving you the green light.
I love you, dude. You can kill me too.
I wouldn't be upset right now if the podcast ended with both of you guys shooting each other.
Well, that's how we were going to do episode 200, but I mean, why not? Why not start
We got
now?
one more Manscaped ad to do that you'll have to read the copy for.
I'm not paid by Manscaped. What's the name of the company?
Manscaped.
Yeah, because you don't have the pubes for it, bro.
Oh, man. I told you that in confidence. I was born without pubes, and you've been fucking...
I took a cheap shot. My bad,
been
dog.
riding me about it. Okay, so that's your babe of the week is Clark Little.
Mm-hmm.
Big wave photographer or just surf photographer?
I'd say surf photographer. He specializes in the shore break because you can get like a really cool shot of the barrel with the sand.
Don't talk down to us. We know what you can get when you're out there.
Hey, I'm just reiterating what the doc told me.
All right. JT.
Couple of alphas bucking domes, dude. I fucking love it, bro. Nat Geo shit. Who's your babe of the week?
Oh, do I go?
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep with the theme of Netflix or TV people. I don't know this person, but did you guys watch Cheer on Netflix?
Mm-hmm. Best show ever.
Yeah. I would say Jerry from Cheer.
Oh,
is
nice. All right.
the fucking best character. I know a lot of people have probably already watched the show, but if you haven't, it's. I would say it doesn't end on like the best. I felt kind of bad for them a little bit, like because I felt like I wasn't sure exactly what the future holds for them, and it seemed a little bleak in that regard. But as far as like committing to something with like all your heart and soul and like everything that you can, and like really like working hard to better yourself, and even you can tell like this guy Jerry is sort of like not one of the main cheerleaders at first, and then he kind of like gets his opportunity and he kind of steps up, and like, and you also you find out about these people's backstories and you get very emotionally invested in them. But Jerry also has like such a friendly and like positive, like overwhelmingly positive and energetic energy to him that you can't help but like love this guy and root for this guy. So it was cool to see him like succeed and do well on the show.
I think they're all going to be okay too. They all have like 1 million followers now on Instagram. They've been on every show. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's, can sustain itself forever, but
yeah, I don't know that will pay your bills, but hopefully, like, it seemed like Ladarius at the end, I mean, not to give away the show, but like, he was like coaching at another cheerleading gym
hilarious
for kids.
Watching him coach.
Yeah. And you just think like, oh, well, that's like, of course, like that's a smart move. Like, just franchise that out and do like a bunch of gyms for yourself, and then you just travel around and like coach at all the different gyms or whatever, So I think that like, hopefully they will all land on their feet. So,
their athleticism is remarkable.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
One person's flipping, and then that person's flipping another person on top of them. It's like a wedding cake. It's crazy.
If you were a cheerleader and you had the physical ability to do any of that, what position would you be in?
I'm a flyer.
You're a flyer. You're
like
a stunter.
Bill Pullman in Independence Day. I belong in the air.
I'd have to go back and watch Independence Day to fact check that. Does he get thrown up like a cheerleader in the air and does flips and stuff?
No, but he's the president. But in the end, he gets in a plane because he was a pilot before that.
Okay, I got to go back and watch it.
Eagle 1, Fox 2.
Are these lines from the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do them again? Just because I didn't know that we were going to be acting out an actual scene, and if we're going to act it out, I'd like to see it.
Don't we have any missiles left?
Coming right here, Mr. President. This is some variation of that.
Eagle 1, Fox 2.
Guys, this is the Alexander method.
Yeah.
This is what we...
Call George Clooney right now.
Fuck. I don't have his number, but I might have his email.
Oh, dude.
I don't. It was like George Clooney.
Put us on a
Hotmail.
chain, dude, and we'll send funny gifts to each other.
I know. That would be the best. That was some good acting.
Thanks.
Although you did make the gun noises that I was telling you you can't actually make that when you're shooting. You can't go.
This is the machine gun noise I used to make when I was a kid because I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
I can't do that. So I go.
Did you make that face too?
I go.
When you were
That was
running
my machine
around,
gun
when you were
noise.
running around as a little kid playing guns with your friends, that's
Yeah.
the noise that you would make. And that face.
That's too much of that.
And that face also.
Yeah, probably. I wasn't as smiley back then as I am now.
You weren't?
Not when I was doing the machine gun noise because I was so committed to the part. I think I
Right.
was really trying to send a message of menace.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a tough time with that noise though. I feel like
It
that's
was
not-
brutal.
Are you not? Is your mouth not able to make certain noises?
I don't think so.
Like, can you go like?
Are you rolling your tongue there? I can't do it. Oh, is that with your lips?
That's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
I can't fucking do anything.
That was a knock on the door. You went,
There's one person in the world listening to this who's going to get a boner from what we just did.
Oh, this is ASMR.
ASMR.
We said that at the same time. Jinx. Jinx, you can't prank me.
You don't want to get pranked?
No, I want it. Bring it. I want to get killed.
Dude, you're in the middle of the fucking most mind-shattering prank right now.
Does Aaron even exist? Aaron?
When you walk out of here, you're in for
Aaron?
it. You are really in for it.
Wait, I don't see Aaron. Where are you?
Aaron, where'd you go?
I'll tell you this, Chad. It culminates at a Nickelback concert in June in North Carolina.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's
Well, we
where
still got to go to the
That's
show.
where the prank culminates.
Well, you're not going to do anything to the band, are you?
Yes.
You're going to hurt the band?
Yes. The band will all be physically injured and maimed.
Rob.
Well, this is after the
Chill,
concert,
dude.
though, at least, right?
But right before the show.
Rob,
Oh,
chill,
fuck,
dude.
dude.
Right before the show.
Nah,
Rob.
I have a plot afoot to physically harm all of the members of Nickelback.
Nah, dude, I don't think that's going to happen, dude.
Dude, you taking off your shirt on a podcast, first of all, the listeners didn't know. I mean, the viewers, sure.
Only a small
What's up,
percentage
dude?
watch the video.
So most people that listen to this won't know that your shirt is off right now.
You know.
I
But-
ripped my shirt off right now, but I just bought this from Target. It's a Prince shirt, so...
That is a Prince shirt.
I'm sorry.
I got terrible news for you about Prince. I'll tell you after the pod.
What? What happened?
I'll tell you later.
What?
But it's bad.
Is he not going to release some of those like tracks in his vault?
Guys, it's bad. Let's
All
leave
right,
it at
let's
that.
keep pushing.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
Dude, my babe of the week is toast with butter.
Whoa.
Chad and I know it's carbohydrates, so it's kind of on the edgier side. But Chad and I, we've been going to this office, and I've been getting some breakfast treats, just to get myself started for the day, get myself satiated before we get into the hard work stuff. And I've just been making toast, and the smell, the aroma when it's coming out of the toaster,
I love it.
It's beautiful. And then when you just spread some butter on toast and it melts on there, and I like to get it like dark, like a little black, like a little bit with like a little crisp on it.
He does,
And
dude.
then
Why
then
are
I
you
put
looking at? Hold on. Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm
Well,
just
he's explaining.
reaffirming what he's saying to you. I'm
Yeah, but
making
he's
sure that
backing
you
me
get on
up.
board.
Yeah, but he's backing it up like I'm not on board with it. Like we're all on board with hot buttered toast, and he's like, He's like
I'm just
trying to
making sure you
intimidate
know,
me.
Rob. I'm making
He's
sure
trying
you
to
know.
intimidate me about the toast.
Well, it makes me really happy to hear you say it because I love it, and I just spread that butter all over it, and then I do sometimes I'll do 4 pieces, two or 3 with butter, and then 1 with jelly as like the kind of sweet treat. Yeah,
He's still trying to intimidate me.
he's backing up my play. He's my dog.
It's an intimidation tactic. So if you try to front our
right.
squad,
I want to
He's just
wrap it
looking
up.
out
I
for
want to
me.
wrap it up.
He's just looking out for me because he's my buddy.
But I want to tell you guys this. I think both of you should have your cholesterol checked.
I got mine checked and it's high.
That was a machine gun. You should get your, if you're eating beef every day. Well, after you did the juice cleanse, maybe you might be all right.
yeah, my gut flora is on fire right now.
I don't even know what that is. But
Nobody does.
all this hot buttered toast, bro, is
Yeah, you're right.
how
you're
high?
right.
How
Do
high
you-
was your cholesterol?
It was like it wasn't like my cholesterol was like a little bit high. It was like 180, 190, maybe 200.
Yeah, that's fine. If it's 200 or below, that's
It
fine.
might have been 210.
That's fine.
And then, but my Laprota, it's like a form of cholesterol.
Is that your sperm count?
No,
Okay.
I do take Pro-Peach, so that might be a little lower than ideal. But
So you got watery sperm.
that's what they say. But honestly, I'm not going to get into it.
No, what's the texture of your sperm? Viscous?
The viscosity is good.
The viscosity of our city.
Oh, System of a
You
Down.
belong to the viscosity.
You're not gonna prank System of a Down, are you?
I have really bad news for you about System of a Down.
Fuck, dude. Fuck.
They're all trapped in.
They killed Prince.
So the viscosity of your semen it's thoroughly viscous.
I'm not going to talk about it, but it's fine.
It seems like you really want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it because there's people who listen to this who don't want to hear about it. But if they want to hear about it and they want to know about it, you can message me and I'll tell you what the fuck is up.
It sounds like you're plugging Propecia.
Propecia works.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't stick with it long enough.
And it doesn't make your dong feel like it's not attached to your body, which some people say. Well, for me, it didn't. Actually, I'm getting wild now. I don't know. My independent experience has been
So
that the side
currently
effects
your
were
dong
minimal.
feels attached to your body. It's not, you don't have a dismembered dong syndrome.
No, it feels. Yeah, I feel it.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Were you just checking?
I'm trying to like be in touch with like my electromagnetic dong.
I saw it move.
Thank you, Chad. What's your quote of the week?
We have to have a quote?
Yeah, dude, we're almost done. I promise.
My quote of the
35
week-
more minutes, and we're done.
No.
Yes, bro.
My child's going to be waking up going to school.
Rob, you're gonna see this one coming.
Where's your
but my
kid go to
quote
school?
is
That's a terrible joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
my quote of the week is dude, I have a big dong. Amir.
Wow, that's your friend that I thought was your dog.
Mm-hmm.
My quote of the week. Well, it's only Monday, so we're really going off of today,
Mm-hmm.
right? Can we come back to me? Can we do you?
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
Okay.
Mine is from the film Serenity. It's one of my
we can
favorite.
quote films.
Yeah. I get long with it sometimes.
Okay.
This is like one of my favorite movies. It's Joss Whedon, and it's about a space kind of cowboy westerny, but like real pithy dialogue kind of thing. And this is at the end when Mal, played by Nathan Fillion, is teaching River Tam how to fly the plane, and she's like got freakish superpowers, but she's also been through a lot, so she's complicated. But she trusts him, and he goes, "But it ain't all buttons and charts, little albatross. You know what the first rule of flying is? Well, I suppose you do, because she can read his mind, since you already know what I'm about to say." She goes, "I do, but I like to hear you say it. Love. You can learn all the math in the verse, but you take a boat in the air that you don't love, she'll shake you off just as sure as the turning of the worlds. Love keeps her in the air when she ought to fall down, tells you she's hurting before she keens, makes her a home. Storm's getting worse. We'll pass through it soon enough."
Now, what is it that you like about that?
Well, I just wanted to do something from Serenity, and then that was the one that felt like it made the most sense out of context. My actual favorite quote is when someone's like, "Are you willing to die for your beliefs?" And he goes, "I am." And then he shoots the gun and goes, "Of course, that ain't plan A."
Wow. So you like pithy dialogue in a movie?
Sometimes, if it's done right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all go through a phase where that's what we're really into, and then at some point we're like, no, I'm more into like the more like grounded, organic, real stuff.
Yeah. I'm on board with that.
Who's your favorite dialoguist?
Ooh, that's a deep cut. Or not a deep cut, but that's a tough question. My favorite, like dialogue writer.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's Rob Corddry. He has good dialogue.
Nice.
That's what's up.
All right, I'm going to read you my quote because, but I'm not going to tell you what it's from.
Do we have to guess?
Can we guess?
Yeah, you can guess. And I'd like to see who can guess this quicker. Okay.
I hope it's you, Chad.
And there is a prize.
I hope it's you.
There is a prize for this.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? And I'm going to do it as this character, but don't look.
Yeah.
Oh, my glasses. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you that.
Liam Neeson from Taken?
Yeah, Liam.
Bro.
Damn it. I knew it was Liam Neeson, but I just didn't want to interrupt you.
Bro.
Do you want
But I'm glad you got it.
I'm glad.
I can tell you this. I don't have money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you, and I will kill you. And then the bad guy on the other end says, good luck. Click.
Dude, all time.
Dude, you have a good impression.
Dude, that was a great rendering.
Wow.
I got chills.
Thanks, guys.
Rob, way to end this thing on a banger, dude.
Good job, guys.
Dude,
That's going to
thank
live
you, Rob.
forever.
Good job.
In our pods.
Oh, speaking of
Verse.
big dicks, Liam Neeson has a big dick.
Yeah, he's got a hose, right?
Yeah, that's what my wife said. I mean, my wife has not seen it, but my wife kind of knows like what celebrities have big dicks.
Sure.
Does she know
And,
it's the small ones? Because that's us.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think she keeps track of that. I'll tell her though. She'll write it
We
down.
went on the news recently and said we have small dongs because we do, and we want to support other people who have small dong shame.
What news channels? What story was
Fox, Waters World.
it? I don't know if you guys should have done that. I think you should have thought it through.
That's what my dad said. But I think he said it for a different reason than what you're saying it for.
I wonder if I am your dad.
That'd be awesome.
You
dude.
do look like my dad.
I don't know who you are. You're not my son. That was me as Liam Neeson as your dad.
Damn.
I'm telling you, bro, your parents are not your parents. That's part of my prank.
Who's the smartest person you've ever met?
Ooh. Probably Clunes. Clune Dog.
For sheer?
Really?
I don't know. He seems pretty smart. I don't know if he's the smartest person.
Is that more just like an attitudinal thing, like the way he carries himself?
Yeah, I think he's like a smart business guy too. I basically just want to be friends with George Clooney.
You and me both, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you? Casamigos.
Yeah, I want to have my own tequila company. That's the thing.
We could start one together.
We could? What do we need to start a tequila company?
Just a couple of guys, some smiles, and a can-do attitude.
And a sophisticated palate.
Do we need a certain amount of money?
No.
All right. I'm not sure you guys are the best business people.
Dude, I have plentiful agave in my place.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Nice. Growing?
No, it's cut. It's from Mexico.
You've already cut it.
Yeah.
You've illegally harvested and brought back agave.
Well, yeah.
We're reading the book about the Uber guy right now, and like laws are pretty like not that important.
Yeah. There's no laws right now, just to be clear. We're living in a time in our country where anyone and any company can do literally whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you create enough demand, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does that scare you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you most scared of?
Ghosts. Ghosts are real. And you guys know that ghosts are real, right?
I believe.
We got to end the podcast, but ghosts.
Have you seen a ghost?
Do we have to end?
I haven't seen a ghost, but I have felt a ghost. I have been touched by what I thought was a ghost. Do you want me to tell you the story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, we got to end this podcast, guys. I feel like we're going to alienate some of your listeners. Well, I don't know if this was a ghost, but I think this was a ghost. Before I got, I'll make this as quick as I can. Before I got into acting, I used to work in production, like behind the camera, like writing and producing.
DP.
But like, no. But just like crew, you know. But like, but starting way back, I was like a PA, you know, just like wrangling stuff for the shoot. And one of my jobs was they were shooting a Halloween thing for AMC, the movie channel. They used to just show old movies, and around Halloween, they still do this. AMC just shows scary movies for like the month of October. And so they wanted to shoot intros and outros for these scary movies. and it was going to be hosted by Tim Burton. So they wanted Tim Burton to like introduce all these old scary movies. So the guys that I worked for, it was this production company, and they said, we need someone to go and find like real haunted buildings and houses where we can shoot. And like, so that'll be part of the fun of this, will be like Tim Burton will explain like what happened, what kind of crazy fucked up stuff happened in this house, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And you're watching this movie, and, you know, stay tuned for the rest of this movie, blah, blah, blah. So part of my job was to, that summer, drive around and scout out like legit haunted spots around New York and New Jersey and Connecticut. So, and I'm like I do think that sort of stuff is fun. Like, I don't know if I actually believe in it, but I think it is. Like, I like horror stuff, and like I like being scared, so I did that. So so I went around like all summer and just like looked at all these like scary haunted places and talked to the people that live there and their kids, and found out like all the info. So this one house that we were shooting in, finally we found like this really crazy old farmhouse in New Jersey that was out in the middle of nowhere. And all this crazy stuff had been happening over like years and years and years. It was kind of like Amityville Horror. Like the kids that grew up in the house, they would not even come in the house when we were shooting there. They were like, no, I will never go back in that house.
Wow.
Like they had weird stuff where they had like been like attacked and like pinned against the wall, you know, by like evil spirits or whatever. Like one girl said she woke up and she was like levitating off of her bed, and they saw different entities in their house and stuff like that. So, you know, they were just telling us that like outside in the front yard. And so the guy that owned the house, their dad, at one point kind of dropped this very casually, that he was like an amateur archaeologist, and would like dig up areas of this farm where he lived. And he said he found like a burial ground. He basically found a Native American like burial ground, and like dug up all of these human remains and brought like skulls into his house. And so, of course, you know, like that's not good for your for your house,
for your juju.
So, yeah. So they thought like, well, that was connected to this, and that's why all this crazy stuff had been happening over the years. Like one time his wife was home alone and she was in bed, and she said she was like laying on her side, and she felt her husband get in bed behind her and like start to like kind of spoon with her a little bit. And so she kind of like felt back to like feel his leg, and it was just like, it felt like a dog. Like, and they didn't have a dog. It just felt like a fucking wolf or whatever. And she like jumped up, and there was just like this entity that looked like a fucking like crazy like wolf spirit or something. Yeah, it was bananas. So they would just tell you this, and you're like, okay, either everyone in your family has like, you know, very severe mental illness, or there's something crazy going on here. So anyway, we finally, long story short, we were shooting with the man upstairs who owned the house in his attic. And this is the room where he kept all of these Native American skulls in his attic. And at this point, I think he only had like one left or something. Like he had gotten rid of all, but he still had like one human skull. And so we were interviewing, they were interviewing this man, just getting like some, you know, some straight up questions about the history of the house and all of these events that had happened. And I was sitting on the floor, like taking notes. And then as soon as he started to talk about these skulls, all of a sudden I felt like, I stepped on like an electrical wire. Like I just got like a jolt of electricity under both of my feet. And I was wearing like shoes, you know, just like this. But it just felt like I stepped on like a live wire, and it was just like something shocked me. And so like I jumped up and I was like, what the fuck? And everyone was like, what's going on? Like, and I was like, sorry guys, like something just like fucking grabbed my feet or zapped me or something. And they're like, what? So that was my only ghost like experience, where like I didn't see anything, but it was right in the middle of this crazy haunted house right when this dude started talking about Native American skulls.
Really?
Like, it's something like attacked me.
Well, the prank's on you, Rob, because you died that day, and you've been in a fever dream since then. And this is the end of the dream.
What the fuck?
Once this podcast ends,
what?
You'll leave this meat corporeal existence you feel like you're in.
What?
And you'll become a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Of the podcast studio.
You motherfuckers.
The ghost of ATC.
And you will haunt this room forever.
I can never leave this hellscape?
You'll have Aaron.
I gotta listen to ads for Manscaped?
Forever.
I'll never stop coming back.
And your bush will never stop growing.
That's probably the worst part.
It'll be the first time you have pubes.
Oh, man.
Bye, Rob. Bye.
Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, guys.
If you need advice,